So, how about that lap dance?
I think I'm going to have to give you a rain check.
Well, since you'll be leaving in the next couple of days, that rain check will be worthless. But that's okay. I understand if I make you uncomfortable. You're still a nice girl, and I still like you. But I must warn you of something. You know how people say, you're okay in my book, or in my book, that's no good. Well, I actually have a book. And everybody I ever meet goes in this book. And now I've met you, and you're going in the book. Except, I'm afraid I must file you under chicken shit.
And what if I did it?
Well, I definitely couldn't file you under chicken shit then, now could I?
What's your name again?
Stuntman Mike.
Well, Stuntman Mike. I'm Butterfly. Why don't you go get ready for your lap dance?
My face is finished. My body's gone. And I can't help but think, standing up here in all this applause and gazing down at all the young and the beautiful with their questioning eyes, that I must above all things love myself. That I must above all things love myself. That I must above all things love myself. I saw a girl in the crowd. I ran over, I shouted out. I asked her if I could take her out, but she said that she didn't want to. I changed the sheets on my bed. I combed the hairs across my head. I sucked in my gut, and still she said that she just didn't want to. I read her Yeats. I tried best to stay up late. I fixed the hinges on her gate, but still she just never wanted to. I bought her a dozen Snow White doves. I did her dishes in rubber gloves. I called her honeybee. I called her love, but she just still didn't want to. She just never wants to. Sent her every type of flower. I played a guitar by the hour. I patted her revolting little chihuahua, but still she just didn't want to. I wrote a song with 100 lines. I picked a bunch of dandelions. I walked her through the trembling pines, but she just even then didn't want to. She just never wants to. I thought I'd try another tack. I drank a liter of cognac. I threw it down upon her back, but she just laughed and said that she just didn't want to. I thought I'd have another go. I called her my little O. I felt like my soul must feel when she said that she just never wanted to. She just didn't want to. I got the no pussy blues. I got the no pussy blues. I got the no pussy
Yeah, a little bit of a hipster show lately. The Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Who's behind that? Pepper Hicks?
That is Pepper Hicks all this week.
All of a sudden bringing the cave into the scene. It's going to be Leonard Cohen before I know it, Fez. We are pulling out of, Dave's wannabe indie rock thing, Earl's Mass Appeal, and we're going into the dark longings of Mr. Pepper Hicks. All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. How's this for Hip Fez? Coming in just a few minutes. Elmore Leonard, the author who's written just a ton of novels. The entire time I lived in South Florida, all I did was read Elmore Leonard novels because no one writes about the weird crime scenes of South Florida better than Elmore Leonard. Let me just... some of you guys that don't read books, here's some of the books that Elmore Leonard has written, has been turned into films. Hombre with Paul Newman, The Big Bounce, Mr. Majestic, unbelievable, 52 pickup, Get Shorty, Touch, Jackie Brown, Out of Sight, The Big Bounce, Be Cool. These things just go on and on and on. And at least every year you're going to get an Elmore Leonard novel. Sometimes you get two. Big fan. He's coming into the show in just a few moments. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Fezzy, how's everything going in your world?
Pretty good. Today is a therapy day, Ronnie. So I got to head off to the Washington Square Institute.
Earl, send me Earl in here, please. Thank you.
As soon as this show's over. So I'll be heading down there for another shrink session. So a little nervous about it today. But I'll make it through. As long as I think the key to it is timing it right, where I can get there right on time. That way I don't pace around the building too many times and kind of lose my nerve about going in.
Well, also, Fezzy, last night all you did is complain about chest pains, and I couldn't get you to call your doctor or go to the hospital.
Yeah, I did not. There's something in me. I just did not want to go to the hospital yesterday.
Death wish?
I don't think it's a death wish.
But this is the exact same thing that happened a year and a half ago. I mean, you're ready to, deal with your panic attacks, but remember, you do have a heart condition, and you got very odd yesterday. Very odd with the chest, the Free FM show, you just weren't there. You weren't focusing. It really weirded me out.
Yeah, and then when I got home, I had the chest pain, and then I got this massive headache, and I never get headaches.
Right, so call your doctor, you're a guy with a heart condition, or go to the hospital. I cannot begin to tell you how senseless this seems to be to me.
Yeah.
And I'm being serious with you now, and I don't get it.
I think it was just a fear of going into the hospital.
Yeah, but you've had a heart attack before.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, and I'm just like, I kind of had this thing of like, I know I'm having chest pains.
You didn't go in last time with chest pains, and you had a heart attack.
Yeah, I should have gone.
You should go.
Yeah, that's true.
You're still having them. You told me today you're having twinges in your chest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as intense as yesterday.
Bro, you've had a heart attack before. Now you're having chest pains. I don't think any doctor would tell you not to go. I don't even know where to begin with this. I don't know where to start. It's very bizarre to me. All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Mr. Elmore Leonard ready to come in just a few moments. I see that our Earl has him signing books outside, Fez.
Oh, okay. Well, that's important.
Yeah.
Elmore Leonard's new book is Up in Honey's Room, and that is available everywhere now.
Up in Honey's Room, and there's tons more movies to come out. So let's bring him in. Elmore Leonard is coming in. Elmore Leonard on the Ron and Fez show. Brand new book out, Fez, up in Honey's room. If you want to check out the website, that's available also.
ElmoreLeonard.com is the website.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Ron.
And it's nice to see you're out doing a book tour now and traveling around the country.
Second day.
Second day.
Yeah. Barnes & Noble last night.
Barnes & Noble last night, and where's the next one?
The next one is Mysterious Bookshop.
Oh, I know that.
Down south somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, where? I don't know.
The Mysterious Bookshop is...
It's on Warren Street.
Yeah. Now, is that a long relationship you've had with these people? They've been around for a long time.
Otto Penzler, and he's in the book.
Oh, is that right? In this book?
He's an escaped Nazi SS officer who was in Oklahoma when he escaped from a camp. And Otto he always wanted to be in a book, so I said, all right, you're going to be in this book. And he's very aloof, and he complains all the time until he's in Detroit, escaped, and he meets a Jewish girl, and he's SS. He's the head. I mean, he was with Rommel's Corps. He was Waffen-SS. Those are the SS guys who were in combat, and. But they ran out of gas, and so 250,000 Afrika Korps guys surrendered, and a bunch of them came to Detroit, and he was one of them. And he has a very good scene in a bookstore with this the Jewish girl who sells whose partner steals paintings in Europe, and then they sell them to connoisseurs, collectors.
Now, this is somewhat of you taking a step back now, historically wise. You don't lately. You've been writing more modern novels. Right?
Yes, very contemporary, and it's funny. Even going back to 45, and that's my time. Right. You know, I was in the service from 43 to 45. And I came home in 46. But this book required more research than any other.
Is that right?
4 or 5 big boxes of material because of rationing, because of food rationing, gas rationing, things like that were going on. And, and of course, the war, what was going on in the war.
And is that for you, so many of that stuff you just kind of put out of your mind? I guess it brought a lot of memories.
I couldn't remember expressions that were common.
Right.
I don't know why,
Well, I guess the world moves on, right? I mean, it's amazing. I mean, even for me, it seems like when I talk to my kids, it's a different world. And my father was in the South Pacific the same time that you were. And when he tells us stories, of course, once again, it just feels like it's a different world altogether.
Yeah. Because to me, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they're all one.
Right.
I don't see that much difference. I don't know what's the difference between the 80s and the 90s.
Well, the 80s and the 90s, the internet pretty much changed everything. So a kid, born in the 80s, did not grow up with the internet. A kid in the 90s has been completely connected.
The original title of this book was Hitler's Birthday. And my publisher said, Hitler's Birthday? And all my friends loved it.
Yeah.
Said, oh, that's a good title.
Right.
But they said, Hitler's not going to sell. We won't get the orders.
Right.
That we would normally get from bookstores if you call it Hitler's Birthday. Well, it was okay with me. I'm not going to argue with my publisher, but I was going to, it turned out I would have changed it anyway, because the reason I was going to call it Hitler's Birthday, because of a character in the book who looks exactly like Heinrich Himmler and was born in Munich the same day, the same hour as Heinrich Himmler, and he thinks there's something there. Why was I separated from my twin brother?
Right.
And he gets involved in that, and he's going to commit something. He's going to commit an assassination on Hitler's birthday, the 20th of April. But it doesn't happen. I mean, I could see it wasn't going to happen. Right. So why call it Hitler's birthday,
You pulled out. I guess doing the research of this, and you grew up, you're from the Detroit area also.
From 34. I was born in New Orleans.
Okay. that, you look in the paper yesterday, terrorist, in the country, and people are looking at Arabs. But I guess it was the same way when you were younger with German people, that suddenly everybody became suspect of them.
Well, there was a spy ring of Germans in Detroit, but they didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
They were screwing up all over the place. They didn't get any kind of information. And the FBI guy said, guys, all they got to do is read the paper. They find out how many planes are being made out of Willow Run, Send the paper to the spy office in Germany. So they didn't learn anything. And there were saboteurs who came ashore, Germans, but they didn't do anything either. They were caught, and some of them were executed almost immediately.
One of the things in an Elmore Leonard novel is that the criminal mind is rarely bright. That there's
because it's true.
That these are dense people most of the time.
They're not dense because they're street smart.
Right.
But they're dumb. Yeah, you're right.
They have no idea what to do after they pull the crime. There's no way to...
They're lazy, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's basically why they became criminals.
Exactly.
How did you interact with a lot of these people? Is it through research? Is it through the...
I've talked to people in prison, of course, and I've known people who were into crime or associated with the mafia, for example, and it's not exactly like The Sopranos,
right?
I got to like The Sopranos after a while, but I didn't watch it for a while. I thought, well, it's just another TV underworld thing, but I got to like it. I like the music especially.
Yeah.
And but talking to people in crime, criminals in prison, I didn't really learn anything. I met a guy at Telluride Film Festival, and he said, I served a few years. He said I was for a dope offense, and he said I was surprised that your inmates, they talk exactly the way they do in prison. Where do you get that? And I said, well, I research it and I pay attention to what's going on. I said, what were you doing in prison? He said, well, I was selling. He was selling marijuana, and he said I could not make the jury believe that it was for my own use.
Right.
And I said, well, how much did you have? He said, 400 pounds. And I said, well, how much does that occupy a refrigerator? He says, well, 2 small refrigerators.
Elmore Leonard in studio with us. The brand new book is up in Honey's room. Another time, this is another case where you were able to write the female character that people can identify with. Is that a little tougher for a man to write like that?
Well, not once. I was criticized, 15 years ago or so. The critic, and it was in a Detroit paper, she said that the female in this book, the main number one female, reads like something out of Mickey Spillane. And I thought, really? Because it didn't to me.
Right.
But I thought, if she thinks that, and I knew the woman who wrote the review, so I said, I'm gonna have to work a little harder on the women in my books and not think of them as women.
Mm-hmm.
Think of them as a person. The girl's a person, Honey Deal is I make them more aggressive and a little bit more fun, a little more interesting in different ways.
And they're normally on the hustle as well, like so many of your other characters.
Yeah, they can be, sure.
So many of your films, so many of your books made into films. How much do you have to do with that? Once they buy the book, do you write it out with them? Do you meet with the directors? I know, Get Shorty is based on some of your stuff.
They'll ask me, well, who do you see, for example, Out of Sight? Yeah. Who do you see as the woman? And I said, well, how about Elizabeth Shue? And Ashley Judd.
Mm-hmm.
Most often, I'll suggest somebody and they'll say, "Oh, that's interesting," which means it's a dumb idea. So, but these two, they did test.
Mm-hmm.
But they settled on Jennifer Lopez, and she was perfect. And I liked her because she's a very good actor. And I in other pictures, I thought she was quite good, and she was good in the movie.
But most of the time, that's just a roll of the dice for you. It's just you don't.
Well, but out of 42, or whatever book I'm on now, I think it's 42.
Mm-hmm.
Over 30 have either been optioned or bought outright.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
that's just phenomenal
because they look like movies.
They play like
with
movies.
The dialogue and the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're all scenes with a lot of dialogue.
And there's always strong characters that seem like they're fun for the actors to play.
Yeah. Like George Clooney, he thinks he was in Out of Sight, and he thinks that bank robber that he played might be his favorite character.
Sure.
So I'm writing that one again.
And to see if maybe it's something he want to come back around with, or it's up to him. Yeah.
Sure.
That was a fine film, and that was basically a couple of your South Florida films. Popped for me. I lived down in Miami for a while, and a lot of those books I read while I was in there. So you're traveling past the places in the books. There is a very strange feeling to that part of the country, isn't there? There's just always something a little electric, and everything gets a little more voodoo at night.
Well, now, for example, South Beach, that's the place to go.
Right.
But in my first book that was set there, it was La Brava.
Mm-hmm.
It was old Jewish people from the garment district who settled down there and, retired.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any kind of a hustle going on at all, And then in 1980, the Mariel boat lift from Cuba and all these criminals and inmates from prisons came to Miami on their vacation, and everything changed.
Everything went overnight, huh?
Overnight, yeah.
Elmore Leonard in with us today. Brand new book up in Honey's room.
Elmore Leonard, he's doing some appearances. You can see him tonight at Mysterious Books, 58 Warren Street, New York City. Tomorrow at the Free Library on Vine Street in Philadelphia, starting at 7 o'clock. And then on Friday, the Portsmouth Music Hall, Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Now, normally, I guess you live a life of solitude, just you and the work, and then you have to come out and sell. It must be like two different lives for you, huh?
Yeah, it is. And the first time I was on the New York Times list, and that was probably the first year that I did do book tours. Mm-hmm. So that was only 22 years ago. But I never thought that to be on the New York Times list, I never thought I wrote well enough or poorly enough to make that list. But I did, and I have every year since.
That's changed everything for you since that happened?
Well, I don't sell an enormous number of books the way some of them do. Mary Higgins Clark or Sue Grafton or, who will sell 500,000 hardcover. Or, what's his name?
Grisham. Yeah, Grisham.
Million first printing, 1.5 million first printing. I'll sell 100,000 or maybe a little more. That's it. I'm sure the same folks that want to come out and see it. After the film comes out, does that kick the paperback sale back up again? I don't know. I'm not that concerned with I don't get that many figures about the paperback sales.
You're normally 2 or 3 books beyond by the time that happens.
I just keep hustling, keep working. That's the only way to do it. You can't sit back and wait to see results. You got to just keep going. But it's fun.
Yeah.
This is the biggest pleasure I have in life is writing books. It always has been. So.
And then somebody's always trying to say, why keep doing it when that's your biggest pleasure, too?
Yeah,
it always kills me when people say that.
And it's hard. It's not easy at all. But when you write the scene and you read it and you like it, and then years later you read it again, you laugh out loud. You don't even remember it, you know?
So you'll know every day, whether it's a good day or a bad day, really comes off of those pages. You can sit back and go, this is a terrific day. As if you have a bad day of writing, you don't sit back and look at the other 42 books that you wrote and go, no, I'm a good writer. You just feel that day.
No, but there's always a little doubt when you start that next book.
Right.
If you still have it or not. If you still have the arm, you know?
Well, particularly for you, you'll start the book before you know where you're going with it, right?
Oh, I never know where I'm going, but I have a situation that I start with.
Yeah.
But the story always comes out of the characters. It's not taking some characters and throwing them into a mystery or something.
But I'm sure there's no writing class in America that just says, hey, start with the characters, sit down at the typewriter, and you'll get there. You know,
No, and I'm always writing from a character's point of view, so that I've said that if proper usage gets in the way, it may have to go, because I want to maintain my sound.
Stay with it the whole time. Elmore Leonard, what a pleasure, sir, and you have the opportunity now to go out and meet Elmore Leonard as he travels around the country.
Tonight, 6 p.m., Mysterious Books, Warren Street in New York City. Then tomorrow, that's the Free Library, 1901 Vine Street in Philadelphia, starting at 7 o'clock. Friday, Elmore Leonard will be at the Portsmouth Music Hall, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and that starts at 7:30. And for all your information, you can go to elmoreleonard.com.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Thanks for coming
in. All right.
Hello, my love, I heard a kiss from you. Red magic satin playing near, too. All through the morning rain I gave, the sun doesn't shine. Rainbows and waterfalls run through my mind. In the garden I see west purple shower bells, orange birds and river cousins dressed in so happy and loud. Blue flowers echo from a cherry cloud. Feel sunshine sparkle pink and blue. A playgrounds will laugh if you try to ask, or is it cool? Or is it cool? If you arrive and don't see me, I'm gonna be with my baby. I'm free. Fly the sea. Same window, yellow candy screen. See speakers of kites with velvet roses, they can freedom fly. A present from you, strawberry letter 22. The music plays, I set in for you.
Cool.
That was very cool.
Meeting Elmore Leonard. So 83 years old and still pushing out like a book or two a year. I can't even imagine one book.
Oh, that would be great to write a book. And a book, and to start writing books where people are looking forward to it.
Why don't you start, Fez?
My books would be maybe a paragraph. I barely write emails.
Yeah, you really do. You struggle with an IM, I noticed, too. You take a long time to IM back.
It takes me forever because I'm checking punctuation, spelling.
Why do you care? Just use a 4, the number 4. Earl, did that picture come out? Because I didn't see a flash.
Yeah, it came out okay. It was a little glare in the background.
What is wrong with you? You just bought an $800 camera, and you can't take a picture?
It came out all right.
Bring it in, let me see it.
And if you're saying...
I thought you could have snapped 4 that quick, and you didn't even get Fez in it.
Then, and if you say it turned out okay, the man is standing right there.
We're never going to see him again.
One.
That's going to be the end of it. You know I never ask for pictures with people.
It's just bizarre.
It's ridiculous. You can't take a picture. You brag about being Mr. Cameraman, you can't take a picture.
See, at least I admit that I can't write. I would love to be a writer, but can't possibly write.
You know what I love about you, Fez? Honesty.
Thank you.
Sit down here, Earl. What is happening with you?
Earl pretends to be a photographer.
What? I said I'm aspiring to be it.
By the way, Mike Kaka laughed at your new camera that you were so proud of. Did you see that last night? When I said show him your camera?
Yes.
He laughed.
I know he laughed. I still like it.
But if it can't take pictures...
It came out.
French, I can't work if you're going to do that all day. Yeah, he actually laughed. And you know what he called it to me later? End camera.
What?
Yeah.
And then I think he called you Peter Darker.
What's that even mean?
Like Peter Parker, photographer?
I didn't see the movie. Don't ruin it for me. I didn't know he was a photographer.
Yes.
Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Who's this?
Hey, buddy. It's Rob with Staten Island.
What's up?
I didn't expect to talk to you. Elmore Leonard is my favorite author of all time.
Yeah.
And this probably applies more to Fez than you, Ronnie. I apologize. I'm willing to barter a John Romita Jr. sketch if you happen to have an Elmore Leonard book signed laying around.
Who's this person?
I have no idea who John Romita Jr. is.
Did you get any
John
book
Romita
signed?
Jr.?
No, I didn't.
Why?
I mean, it was only I only had that one copy.
So get that one copy signed. Chase him down in the street.
I think you can still catch him.
I'm sure you can catch him.
He's 83. You can catch him.
Yeah, you can catch him. Sorry, we don't have one, bro.
Sorry,
Who's
buddy.
this John Romita sketch he's talking about?
I have no idea who John Romita Jr. is.
John Romita Jr. is the artist, the classic artist of Spider-Man.
Why do you act like you're a comic book collector, then you never know one thing about comic books?
I never read any Marvel comic books. I was always strictly a DC guy.
Well, you know what? Now you got the money. Why don't you move around a little bit? Spend some. I really don't... I think that you like to say that you collect comic books, but you don't really. Because I've never heard one comic book discussion come up that you know anything about. And I want you to go to the hospital and have that heart checked.
I should. I really am thinking I should go.
Do you believe that we're even having this conversation where he's thinking he should go? He worries all the time, right? And what do I tell him? Don't worry. Don't worry. This time, he's literally having chest pains for how long now? 24 hours?
Yeah.
So I say, go to the hospital. Go, all right, if you're afraid to go to the hospital, call your doctor. Ask him. The doctor will back me up on this one. Again, nothing from him. Now he spends half his time wondering if the building's upside down or if someone's running gas through the oxygen here. That stuff he worries about.
I'm not sure if he wants to get better. At this point, I'm just scared that he doesn't want to help himself. Maybe he doesn't have high self-worth. And so he's punishing himself all the time. And that's what I'm concerned about.
Did you say you're scared?
No, I didn't say you're scared today.
He said it's scared.
Hey, you know what? Elmore Leonard has also offered to adopt me, which is fantastic. You're my two best friends right now. Elmore Leonard, Gina Gershon.
It's nice company.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Fez,
I'm your best friend.
If this has been going on for a day, go to the doctor.
You didn't see him yesterday when he was holding his chest during the show and how many discussions we were having?
Yeah, and I remember I asked you a couple times, you were okay? You said you were okay, but if this is a day of chest pains, man, I mean, Fez, I'm scared for you. I'm scared for you. Please go.
Why not do the things that you're supposed to do? Then this is what he does. Yesterday at dinner, he goes, I'll have a turkey sandwich with mustard. Like I am the one sitting there watching over him. I know the way you've eaten for the past year.
I know.
Now, as you're having a heart attack, you think a turkey sandwich with mustard is going to save you.
Try to fix it all in one day.
I don't get you, Fez. I'm going to tell you the truth. I went home and I actually talked to Billy Staples about it.
Really?
Yeah.
What did Staples have to say about it?
He was freaked out. Everybody who knows you is freaked out by your behavior right now.
All right, I'm going to go.
Good. Good. When are you going to go?
Should I go now?
Go anytime you want.
All right, I'll go now. Will someone come with me?
I'll go with you. Who do you want?
It doesn't matter. But I'd like to. Is it okay? I'd like to just get a cab and go over to that hospital I went to before.
Do whatever you want to do.
Because I'm comfortable with that.
I don't care where you go. What am I going to pick your hospital? I don't know anything about this. Who do you want? You got Pitsy, you got Dave, you got Earl.
I'll go with Pitts.
Shit.
Why, you want a Pitsy?
Well, I just need somebody on the air, and that.
I'll take. Oh, you're right. I'm going to take Earl.
Earl, you want to go over to the hospital?
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Day off for you, right?
No, I mean that's hardly a day off. I'm so concerned right now, Fez. I really am. I want you to be better.
All right. Dress in all white and go in like you're his orderly. Where do you feel the pain?
Right here in the center. Right in the center of my... And it kind of goes through to my back.
That's what happened last year, right?
Yeah.
Why do you say it like, yeah, like, oh, that's an odd coincidence?
Well, I had more to it last time when it happened.
All right, Pitsy, you okay to run that?
Can you stand in for Earl?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Or is it better to send Pitsy because Earl's no good to you? I don't know which to do.
Let me take Earl.
You sure?
Let me do something for the show today since I'm not going to be here. Let me take Earl.
Do you have anything you need to do? Oh, we have that other guest coming in.
Yes, but I have faith in my guys.
Wow. All right. All right, Dave, you flip over and you come this way. And let's put the kid over on the phones.
Okay.
You all right?
No, not now.
Now, what are you upset
You'll be okay,
about?
Fez.
Then I'm going to the hospital.
You'll be okay.
But you're going to the hospital for a good reason, to go get checked out.
Right.
It'll ease your whatever worries you have. You'll be eased today.
Okay.
Why, do you think it's a bad thing to go?
No, it's not a bad thing to go.
What is it?
It's just going through it again.
Right, but you're having the pains, right? Do you think you're having the pains?
Yeah.
Then you got to go.
Right. Okay.
All right, here's the thing. Earl's going to make this special Fez Day. You're going to get to do a lot of other things. There's going to be, look at me, there's going to be good stuff happening.
You're going to be okay.
And Earl's going to be in touch with me. If you need me, I'll be over there.
Okay.
Wait, Lennox? The Lennox one?
I think it's 77th.
You all right?
Bark, yeah.
But here's the thing, brother. Look at me. I don't want you to get more upset by going.
Right.
I want you to calm down and think if anything is wrong, maybe nothing's wrong. But if anything is wrong, you're going to the right place.
Right. Okay. I'm going.
All right, buddy.
I love you.
I love you, too. Come here. Come on. You grab over there.
You're going to be all right, Fez.
I know. You're going to be fine. I'm going to stay in touch with Earl. All right? Huh? I can't hear it. Okay, but he knows that you're going over just to be checked real quick. I don't have his number. Why don't you want to leave his number with me?
I forgot my phone.
Does Julie have it?
I'll call Julie.
All right.
Okay. Let's go for this.
Hey, and just tell her to call. All right?
Yeah.
And stay in touch with us. Now, what are you crying about?
That was rough.
I know, but I think he's doing the right thing, don't you?
Yes, he is doing the right thing.
I mean, all day yesterday he said, I'm having a pain. Oh, it's flaring. It's going through my back. I'm like, well, you did have a heart attack before. You got a doctor. You got medical insurance. Go get it checked out.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that. That's a good thing. Maybe he's going to stop himself from having a heart attack.
I totally agree. And he's worth it.
But, you know, the other thing is, I know he's supposed to see a shrink today, and does he think he's getting a heart attack because he's seeing a shrink? This is a fucking, a spider web of worries.
Oh, man. He's got a lot of fixing to do. I mean, I feel like crying. I gotta be honest.
Why? I don't want you to cry.
I'm not going to.
I need you to stand up.
I'm standing strong. I'm standing strong for Fez Watley.
Why do you got flowers in here?
That was sent to us by RMPGP, a whack bag. That's a plant who he wants to replace Earl Douglas as executive producer.
All right, well, what we could do, and thanks to Whackbag and particularly RMPGP, do we even know what that stands for?
No.
That will be Earl today. And that person can greet our other guest. Do you know who the other guest is that's coming in? It's Warren Zevon's ex-wife, right?
Yeah, it's Crystal Zevon, who will be discussing her book, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, The Dirty Life and Times of Warren Zevon. She should be in around 2:15. That's going to be exciting.
I love Warren Zevon, by the way.
He's one of the best of all time.
Well, don't say one up to her, because that's her ex, you know.
Okay.
You want to say the.
He is the best.
You don't want to say to her, your dead ex-husband was seventh favorite of mine.
Guys with Ears used to cover American Werewolf in London, too.
American Werewolf in London.
Sorry, just Werewolf in London.
Thank you for fucking covering a movie from the 80s.
Werewolf in London.
Yeah, I can tell he's a big fan of yours.
Hey, shout out to all you guys, Badger fans here. We're pulling for Fezzy. We hope it goes good. Hey,
Yeah,
Ronnie,
I think it's going to go good. I think, but see, here's the thing. He was freaked out last night, but would not go.
Yeah, I know.
Then I come in today, before the show, he's holding his chest, he says he's having pains. We have nothing here to fix his fucking chest. Every other day, I tell him, this is what you're worried about is in your head, you're going to be fine. But the guy did have a heart attack before.
Yeah,
it's not like he's just a hypochondriac.
No.
He's a hypochondriac who now has chest pain, so go check it out. I mean, I don't think he had a massive anything happened, but I don't want to sit around and worry. I don't think he should sit around and worry. He's got himself at a pitch.
I just think he is punishing himself on purpose.
You know what? I don't need you to be a psychiatrist.
Well, it's
this
the way
is not
I feel.
A psychological thing. A guy will hook him up to a machine. They will take a look out of it. Maybe they'll say, you know what, you got agita. Or you're not following along with the plan. You got to follow along with the plan.
Right.
Who knows?
He has been eating a lot of greasy food lately.
Again, are you a doctor? Are you?
No, it's just I noticed these things.
Seriously, why don't you write up a report? Seriously, type it up.
Right.
Give it to me. I'll roll it up in a piece of paper, throw it out in the ash can, and that'll be the end of it.
Okay. Just trying to make observations for my pal.
I don't need observations. I'm here. I know the lifestyle he's living. It's a weird day, too. I want to also, our friend Laura Brooks lost her mother this morning.
Really?
Yeah, so that's sad news.
Jesus Christ.
I know, these are crazy
what
days.
What the fuck?
I know.
This is springtime, and this has been like the worst we've been on since March.
Yeah.
The worst run of, Friends and shit.
I know,
going on.
I agree with you. Such horrible news. You getting engaged.
What? That's a...
Well, I meant not for you. It's good for you, but I meant for...
Yeah.
Casey. It's terrible.
Well,
and then last night, HTG, apparently drunk off her ass, giving face to a statue in front of everybody.
Offensive.
Yeah, offensive.
It's a marble statue.
And you know what? That's the other thing, too. It's not marble, by the way. You need to touch statues to know what they're made out of. But that's when Fez started grabbing his chest.
Yeah.
So that's bad news.
It could also be the pollen, Mr. B.
There's a lot of pollen out there.
Yeah.
That actually could even be bothering him, because I know he said he had a headache.
Absolutely. I know. I can't see. And, Fez, it affects things...
Do me a favor. Don't stand in front of him on the line to the doctors.
I'm not.
All right?
No, I'm just saying that things affect him a lot worse than they affect me. So if I'm having...
Superman, you're tough, and he's not? I don't understand what you mean by that.
All right.
I'll tell you something else. I think he took the right guy to the doctors with him, because Earl will give us some stupid reports. Earl does not do well in a hospital setting. I don't know whether I told you this before, but when Fez did have his heart attack, I stayed with him all through it, blah, blah, blah. And then, once I got him in the room, we got him settled in, he's on meds, something like 8-10 hours has passed before I could finally go, all right, now I've got to, call ELO, Wiki, ONA, Earl, just the people, that need to know, because I had no idea whether Fez was going to be back in a week, a month. No one knows at that point, right? So everybody's being an adult, right? Everybody, Elo and Wiki was like, whatever you need, if you want me to, Opie's like, look, if you want to take some of our comics and do the shows with them, everybody was acting like an adult acts.
Mm-hmm.
Earl screams when I tell him, and this is his words, it's Muni all over again. He screams that to me. I go, it is not, Earl. Muni died, and I'm telling you, I'm sitting next to Fez, and he's alive. He's not coming out of there. He made it about him.
Not to mention Fez is 40 years younger than,
you'd be surprised.
15?
Nah, not even. Betsy, did you want to say something? I see you herking and jerking over there. Rob, you're on Ron and Fez. Rob. Yeah, how are you?
Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Dave. I just wanted to call and let you know there's a lot of us that get as concerned as you do when Fezzy gets like this, and I just want to show support, and we hope you guys keep us updated on his situation.
Thank you. I don't want to get that fucking serious. Sean, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, good morning, boys. How are we?
Yeah. What can we do?
Listen, I just want to give thoughts and prayers out to Mr. Fezzy.
All right, peace. Randy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout-out to Shrubby. He's doing a great job as executive producer.
So far, Shrubby, instead of Planty, because that's Planty was yours.
Yeah.
So we will call this Shrubby.
Okay.
But Shrubby is doing better than Earl.
Well, he is very solid.
Yeah.
The work ethic, I think, is a little bit better.
Yeah.
There's no you don't see panic in Shrubby's eyes.
Well, and the other thing is Shrubby leans towards the sun where Earl leaned away.
And the mouse hasn't frozen up on Shrubby yet either. So, I mean, I think we're going good.
By the way, why would, if we knew that we had demand coming in so early, why wouldn't we opened up with that song instead of opening up with a Nick Cave fucking pussy song in front of an 83-year-old genius?
He arrived a little early, so we should have worked that out.
But Earl has Shrubby has the number of the publicists. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Jesus Christ, Rodney, it might be too late, but can you get Shrubby into a cab and get Shrubby over to the hospital? Because, Jesus Christ, Rodney, we all know what Earl's going to do.
I know, but Earl does have a phone with him.
I also think Dave was hurt that Fez chose me to go over the hospital than Dave. He was a little surprised that Fez picked
you can't take Dave into a hospital.
I was shocked.
Fucking beakers will break.
Wait,
seriously, you're a fucking mess, and I mean that as your friend. You are a mess.
Who goes to Notre Dame football
yeah, but you
outings?
Get drunk. You'll go to that hospital and get drunk somehow, or you'll steal meds.
Well, the meds is a valid point, but still, I'm there for him. Unlike Earl... I won't faint. I know Shrubby doesn't have that problem either, but, I stand on my 2 feet when I'm with Fez.
I don't know. You're a little cranky. Well, let's face it. Since we don't have Lil right now, Pitsy is our grown-up. Even though he's the youngest of the staff, he is the most adult of the staff.
Well, his hairline is.
Obviously, we can't send Pepper Hicks over there. He fucking knocks things over everywhere he goes. He's the fucking disorderly orderly. He's no good. There's some people you can't trust in a hospital. Now,
Pepper's ungrateful, too.
Yeah.
Mr. B.
A friend of mine, when we were younger, we were kids, still in high school, he gets hit by a car. They had to bust him open, the whole fucking exploratory surgery, blah, blah, blah. He's in a coma, right? In a coma for about a week. Comes out of it. Leg is shattered. They had opened up and taken various things out from him. He's all fucked up in there. So, 2 days out of the coma, we cut him a fucking line of THC to snort up, right?
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know whether you're familiar with it, but it's basically a powdered version of angel dust.
Yeah.
So we cut him a big fucking rail, snorts it up. He's high as a kite. We're high. We're all sitting out, sitting around together, just fucking laughing with the, quiet TV on. We leave. Me and his cousin, we go back the next day. His parents are waiting for us. They say to us about their son, blank, because I'm not going to give out the name, is a junkie. I'm like, what? They did a blood test that fucking came up with all these drugs. They freak out because there's no, what is wrong? They go and run a ton of fucking tests because this wacky fucking stuff came up. They're checking everything out. So, they gave it, so they fucking, ended up blaming it on this other whacked out fucking friend of ours, right? And me and his cousin are sitting there going, I don't think he would do that, but we will tell him to stay away from the hospital. We gave him the good news. You're taking one for the team. You're not going to say you did it, but you're going to lay low for a while. And look guilty where you can. Now, why would you do this to somebody 2 days out of a coma? Don't you think maybe his brain needs to heal without you fuckers throwing some kind of a drug into it, trying to close it down completely?
He wanted to give him a good time.
That's where our heads were.
You can't have fun in a coma.
I felt like he missed a week and a half of partying. Right. You know what I mean? He was behind the times. Here's Than. Than, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I just want to say that maybe Shrubby will now be supportive of Dave's wedding, and maybe you get Shrubby to call Hard Rock Johnny and get it all set up so all the ducks are in a row.
Boy, Hard Rock Johnny, was Fez fucking furious with him yesterday because Hard Rock Johnny went out and had heart test. Heart is perfect. And his cholesterol, he's got the cholesterol of an 8-year-old boy. A healthy 8-year-old boy. Diver.
Yeah.
So Fez was just, where is the justice? He's screaming at me. In the meantime, he's holding on to his chest, eating a turkey and mustard sandwich. I'm going to tell you the truth. I am a little happier that he went over to the hospital. I don't mind when he's saying that he's crazy. But I ignored his chest pains last year. And I've felt guilty about it ever since. And last night, I'm fucking tossing and turning. Checking on him, going, how's the chest? Hurts. You want to call your doctor? No, I don't think so. It's no way to be.
So you gotta go check things out as soon as they happen.
Yeah.
That's my strategy, and I always get over my illnesses.
Well, look at you. You had a camera in your dick hole the other day.
Yeah. I passed out twice.
Guess who else is getting that? Billy Staples.
Really?
Yeah.
What is he, does it hurt when he pisses?
Just for fun. He likes it. I'm telling you, never met anybody who's got worse things going on than him. The only thing we're going to be able to do with Billy at this point is put him in the fucking Philly Navy Yard and just let him rust out there with the rest of them.
Don't you think this is why Fez needs somebody to live with now, because he wouldn't go on his own and he needs somebody to convince him?
Look, we all know Fez needs to fix himself, but he doesn't take any advice. He loves us all to sit around and throw advice, but look how many times we've had these discussions. And he'll say, oh, yeah, maybe I should date. Maybe I should have a roommate. He just, you got to respect the fact that he wants to live the way he wants to live.
Well, he needs to
I felt
visit...
terrible the way he left here. He left here in a blind panic. I know he's afraid to do it.
Yeah.
He's afraid of bad news, but maybe he'll get good news.
I think he needs to visit the heart ward and then go up to the mental ward. And I think he needs to maybe take 4 or 5 days, and they should keep him there against his will.
I don't want your advice. This is why I did not let you go with it. Because you give stupid redheaded advice.
I just consider it rest.
I know you do.
Mandatory, though.
But you're not him. Where's she eating today? Find out for me. Would you pets? Because it looks, I don't know whether it's Mexican or what's going on. Here's our friend Stalker Patty. Hello, Patty.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
It could be something as simple as needing to change his medication. I was sleeping 14 hours a day, like 5 hours in the afternoon, didn't know why. My ACE inhibitor wasn't strong enough. The doctor had to up the strength, and then I felt better. Because your body changes as you go on, and you might need changes in medication here and there and stuff.
All right, so we'll change his medication.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what the doctor finds, but that's what he found with me, because I couldn't understand why I was feeling so tired all the time, and I found out that was why. I wasn't getting enough oxygen, because I don't have a strong heart to begin with. But anyway, hope he's feeling better.
Maybe you and him can live together.
Oh, okay.
And have a little show, baby. Thanks, honey. Bye.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's what you sound like with your advice.
What? I don't sound like that
it's
at all.
the same exact thing when everybody has advice. And French, I really do need to focus today. Today's got to be about 100% focus.
This isn't a time. It's
I'm
not a time.
Nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little nervous today.
Well, you should be.
You think I should have probably fucking went with him, huh?
No.
He likes when I'm there, though.
Oh, well then, yeah. No, I mean, I think he understands that, you know, you have to kind of be here. And I think Earl, I actually think one of Earl's best things is, you know, he can hold Fez's hand.
Yeah, he's calming like that.
And he can rub his shoulders and, you know.
Earl has feminine energy.
Right. And he definitely also, I think, has always had a little bit of a thing for Fez. So it's kind of.
That is true.
You know.
Fuck. Scott, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies, 287-253.
Hey, bro, what's happening?
Dave's 100% right. I walked around for a week and a half once with a pain. I couldn't breathe. Went to the doctor. I had a collapsed lung.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Kind of. That is true, you know.
I mean, he did it last year. He did the same thing. He had his heart attack and walked around for a couple days.
Yeah, that's insane to me.
Yeah. And it was the same pain where he says, I feel it in my chest, I feel it in my back, it shoots down my arm. This is the same shit that he's telling me. Then he won't fucking
he's
go last
fucking
night.
Insane.
I know. But
I mean, he's a real lunatic.
But he's scared of a fucking hospital. You gotta understand that.
It doesn't matter. We're all scared of something. People are scared of spiders. It doesn't mean, you know, you have to confront your fears.
He ain't gonna go to a spider. That's fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though.
Who's afraid of a spider?
I
Step
am.
on it. Is that why you brought it up? What are you afraid of a spider for?
Ever since arachnophobia, I just can't get it out of my mind how John Goodman was. It was just a terrible.
I'd be afraid to go to that movie because it stinks.
But in all honesty, this is why he really has some mental problems because
I don't need you pointing that out. He's going to the hospital right now. I mean, we're not going to judge him.
No, I know. I'm saying this as a friend that I think he's crazy.
Yeah. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, I just want to see if Fez is listening in the car. I just wanted to give him a little advice. Just to clutch that Greg Wazinski heart and just repeat to himself. Pussy power, operate.
Activate. And that's from Dizzy. You're right. All of our friends are falling apart, one after the other. Like fucking being in Vietnam around here.
It is.
Vietnam.
It is. You know, I never went. I know you served, or
I served in '93. I went over there and killed a baby.
Well, there wasn't a war on then, but
you doing Fez's act?
No.
Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm pointing.
It does. It seems like
No.
you think to yourself you can sit in his chair and do his act.
No, I would be a little more lispier.
I don't think so. You got one thing that keeps you from being Fez, and that's fucking Casey.
Oh, that's good.
How's she doing?
She's come around now. I talked to my mom last night, or I'm sorry, not last night, this morning.
What happened?
I said, look, this is the way it is, and we're doing the hard rock and everything like that. And she came around.
Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Fez. Steve.
Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, some of us are still afraid of our moms, right, Dave?
Yeah, there's a little fear there.
I think there's a lot of fear there.
I'm not going to say that.
Jesus, look at the size of this lunch. Is that a salad?
It looks like it.
Ridiculous. It's like, bring me a Glad bag full of food.
She's so into it, she wouldn't even pick up her phone. You know,
She don't like you. Oh, that came up last night. She can't stand you.
Really?
You should call her from my phone.
I did.
Oh, that answers it. After the way you acted last night.
What?
Hey, did you see this thing in the newspaper today? O.J. Simpson's out, Kentucky Derby's out at a restaurant. 12 of his buddies, right? The owner of the restaurant comes over. Hey, fuckface, I'm not serving you here. I'd like you to leave. You will not be served here. So O.J. Gets up. He says, all right, I understand. I get it. Now, O.J.'s lawyers contacted the restaurant. He may be suing the restaurant. Racial.
Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
You gotta serve black people in this country.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to serve murderers, and it's your establishment. you don't have to serve everyone who walks in the door. If a guy walked in with no shoes and a shirt on, you'd be entitled to do that.
Yeah, for health reasons, but there was nothing about it. But let's suppose you've got a restaurant and you say, okay, I don't want to serve Puerto Rican people.
Right.
You're going to get sued.
No, but I don't think any judge is going to uphold the case when everyone knows that O.J. Simpson got away with murder. It's not about race. Come on.
Well, it's about this. Why would you not have to serve people who come into your restaurant? You're not the judge and jury. He had a judge and jury. They found them not guilty. Now it's going to be up to restaurant owners to try people every time they go out?
If there's a person of bad character, you don't have to let them in. Bars do it all the time.
Bars do it if they don't want a rowdy person in there. But here's a table of 13. They sit down. And remember, it's Kentucky Derby, so he could fucking resell that. I would have had a lot more respect for him if he would have done this on a Thursday in July when he didn't have shit going on in that town. But he looks over, he sees O.J. and his black friends, and he tells them to get out. That doesn't come across a little racial to you?
No, it comes across as a guy who just doesn't want a murderer in his restaurant.
How many times a murder? Why didn't he just spit in O.J.'s food, leave it at that, and then off he goes?
Well, that would have been a good thing, but no, I mean, the guy doesn't have to serve him. We don't have to do anything in this country.
Of course you do. You have to serve people. We used to not serve people of color before, right?
Yes.
And nobody, you're running a restaurant. Was there any chance O.J. was going to kill anybody in there?
No, there was no chance of that.
Let's suppose this. The Giants are on the road. They go to Dallas.
Okay.
Every restaurant they go in, we're not going to serve you. You're not going to get gas here. You can't stay in this fucking hotel. We don't like your kind. You can't do that.
The Giants didn't kill people. That's the big issue here.
O.J. was found not guilty, right?
Yes.
That's not up to... That's the official ruling on that.
He was found not guilty in that one case, but then you could also quote the civil suit.
So anybody who loses a civil suit, they don't have a right to go into a restaurant again.
No, but I think an owner of a restaurant has every right not to give a guy service if you lose a civil suit where murder's on the line.
So really right now, let's not even have trials. We will leave this up to restaurant owners in Kentucky.
Do you know if he was, like, sitting at a table?
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
He's
like, they sat him and everything.
With 12 other people, yeah. And the restaurant owner said the thing that pissed him off is somebody came back all giddy from meeting O.J. Somebody's like, I can't believe it. O.J.'s here. And he chucked the whole table out because of that.
I'd say good for him. I'd chuck out juice if he came into my place.
Juice? You would not serve Jews?
Juice.
Oh. You've got to serve them. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. So he should get no service wherever he goes in this country. He shouldn't be able to rent an apartment, shouldn't be able to get gasoline, shouldn't be able to bank anywhere.
Yeah, I think it's up to the person.
We know better than the court system.
Yes, I'm going to say that.
Here's Jesse. Jesse, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies? As much as I hate to agree with Dave and go against you, Ron, but if you own a restaurant, you have the right to refuse to serve people. The guy that owned the cheesesteak place down in Philly, I guess it was about a year ago, when he put up the sign that says if you don't order in English, you won't get served, he got away with that. He didn't get.
I don't know whether that is going to be a case, a trial or not. I mean, let's look at the South. They wanted to not serve blacks along with whites.
Right.
They were forced to.
Yes.
So you don't have the right not to serve people if you want to serve the public.
Well, I think you don't have the right not to serve like a group of people.
Right.
I mean, that is discrimination. But if he wasn't letting in every black person, of course not. But I mean, you have a right to be selective, for crying out loud.
It's not a club. Pete, you're on Fez.
Yeah, buddy. Say I own a bar, and if a towelhead walks into my bar, I tell him to get the fuck out. As of post 9/11, I don't serve towelheads no more. They tell me I'm going to go get my lawyer. I says, go get him. I've never been sued.
Where's your bar at?
In Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland. Sure. I'm sure.
What do you mean, Cleveland?
I'm just saying. I would imagine. I would imagine. All right, thank you very much, my friend.
I point at the door. I go, get the fuck out of my bar. You're not allowed in here. Only Americans can drink in here. I'm going to get my lawyer. I says, go get him.
Thank you very much, Pete. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Bill's on with us right now. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
I got to tell you, I hate to say this, but Ronnie, you're wrong on this one. Absolutely can exclude him unless they're doing it specifically because he's black.
Well, that is what his lawyer came back with. That's what his lawyer came back with, that these black people, because it was a table full of black people.
Go nowhere with that. All the guy's going to have to do is say, I have a history of always serving black people. It has to be under protected class status, and being a murderer isn't a protected class status. And Dave's right. I hate to say it, but Dave is absolutely right. The civil case could come into that also. You know,
I have seen the things up that said we have the right to reserve to serve anybody. Here's Big D. Big D, you're on Fez. Big D.
Yo, Ronnie. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm here from in Kentucky, and I was wanting to tell y'all if Earl come within 50 feet of my restaurant, I wouldn't let him in. That's how we think down here.
So you're basically thinking it was probably more of a black thing. Oops, there he goes. Well, Kentucky and Cleveland, you do not have to serve Arabs or blacks. Jersey, they will serve terrorists because most of the people in Jersey right now, if you read the papers, terrorists. How far is this from where you grew up, Cherry Hill?
This is about, I would say, 50 minutes. 50, yeah, because it's by Philly. You know, it's in that outskirt of Fort Dix is kind of 15 minutes away from Philadelphia.
Right.
So that it takes me about an hour to get to Philly.
Here is John. John, you're on Fez.
Dave is full of shit. OJ has to be served. It's fucking our rights as Americans. Like, if you're, people think you molested a child, and you didn't, and you're not convicted of it, and you walk into a bar, they have to serve you. And also in Philly, they serve the people. They just requested that they spoke English.
Yeah, I make sure I never go to that fucking cheesesteak place because he's a fucking wise ass. Why are you starting shit with these people? And you know what? All you're doing is selling fucking cheesesteaks. Don't act like you're somehow above everybody else.
Well, I mean, that's borderline racism. I understand that, but the O.J. Simpson thing is it's a specific case. It's not a whole thing of people that the owner of the restaurant's going against.
The entire party was kicked out.
Well, because they were friends of O.J.
Here's Chad. Chad, you're on Fez.
Hey, what's up, boys? 1181 calling in.
How are you?
The problem I see here is that he might have been disturbing or making other diners uncomfortable, chasing them out, kind of, because, I mean, you can say in a restaurant you're not allowed to have a kid under 12 in here because it'll disturb other customers. You're allowed to say you can't be on the phone in here. You're allowed to say at a bar.
Absolutely not. This guy even said that OJ...
after a certain age, different age.
This guy even said that OJ the entire time was being fucking cool. Here is Rob. Rob, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah,
that club owner from Cleveland, he's full of shit. Strict Muslims don't drink. They don't imbibe alcohol. They wouldn't be in a bar in the first place.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point.
That's not totally true.
He's probably just threw out a Cuban guy. Get the fuck out.
Some of the 9/11 terrorists were spotted at strip clubs, though.
That turned out not to be true. And the reason why I know it, I know the fucking guy who had that titty bar in Daytona.
Oh, really?
We tried to get him on the fucking phone. He said they had a thing there and all. He fucking went underground so fast, he went out and shot his fucking mouth off, told this story. He's a friend of Fez of mine. Fez, I wish he was here right now. He backed me up. We fucking know the guy. He was like, same way we know Hard Rock Johnny.
Oh.
He fucking went underground so fast with his bullshit story. He had everybody looking for him. All because he shot his pie hole off over drinks. Here's Tom. Tom, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I used to own a restaurant. I agree with the guy who threw him out. Not just because he's black, like that probably had nothing to do with it, but because the other people in the restaurant were uncomfortable with him being
Nobody was uncomfortable in the restaurant. OJ lives his life going around. If anything, people come up to OJ on the street, ask to have their picture taken from him. He's still a celebrity.
Yes.
So I've never heard about this happening with him before. But, like, if you're running this restaurant, are you now going to be checking everybody's background or just OJ's?
No, but OJ's is a celebrity. He's he's someone.
All right, what if I said I want Barry Bonds coming in here? I think he ruined baseball.
I think you would have every right, Mr. B.
So what I'm going to do, restaurant nobody can eat at.
No, but I mean, if the person, you don't agree with who they are or their morals, then, yeah, you don't have to let them in.
What are we, fucking pilgrims? Hey, do me a favor and get a hold of Earl, would you? I want to get a little update here. I know it's going to take a while. Normally, if you go into the emergency room and say that you have chest pains, they let you right in.
Yeah.
They hook you right up.
Oh, that's quite serious.
So now I know. Like, if I ever get poked in the eye, I'm going to say my eye hurts and I have chest pains. Because I hate to sit around like an animal with the head wound people.
Well, they drip, those head wound people.
We getting peanut butter and fluffernutter? Did Earl take all the food with him?
I think so. They're saying in my ear that we're fresh out.
He's already in. He's being seen by a doctor right now.
Can I talk to Earl in the show?
Sure. You want me to call him from the studio?
That's the way it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, it's, no one else can hear. So we use the studio phones.
People like using their private phones. Earl did it yesterday.
Yeah, they don't get
The only one who knows how to operate the phones is Shrubby.
Yeah. Come here, Shrubby. I can't tell you how much I love you, Shrubby. You're probably the only friend I have in the world. So anyway, that's the end of that gimmick anyway. We'll see what happens. But all I got to say is in Kentucky, they don't let black people eat food. And I'll leave it at that. They still aren't letting black people sit down and have anything to eat. All right, here is Earl. Earl, how are you, pal?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Are you next to Fez?
Yeah, I mean, they took him in very quickly.
Why didn't you go in with him?
They would not let me go in with him.
Bullshit. I was there last year, stood right next to him.
I think we have another OJ
Well, why
situation.
are you there then, Earl?
Because Fez had asked me to make one phone call. I was making that phone call, then they took him in, and then as I was going in, Fez just waved me off. He's like, you can't come in here.
Last year I stood there and held his hand like a girl.
Hi. I'm an employee.
Big mistake to send.
All right, you're being docked for pay. I know. I should have said Pitsy in a heartbeat.
I don't think he fought to get in.
If I'm being told no, I mean, I gotta follow the rules.
All right, then you better come back here because I'm not paying you today to sit in a waiting room. You're supposed to sit next to Fez.
I mean, I had every intention of being there with him, and I was waved off by him. I was waved off by the doctor.
The doctor owns a restaurant in Kentucky.
I know. It's because you're black. I made the biggest mistake. It's just send him a Pitsy.
Well, hey, I mean, that's what happened. It was like the door was closed and they wouldn't let me in.
Did you have your camera around your neck?
No, I did not.
Because you look weird when you have that, and I don't blame the doctors.
I mean, that's the situation now. They're looking at him right now.
How do you know, Earl? You're not in there. They might have went in there and started eating his feet for all you know. Anything could be happening.
Earl forgot to say he now has X-ray vision.
Earl's staying in the green room like Fez is on the Carson show. Come on, Earl.
Well, I mean, I went as far as I can go with it.
Why didn't you just wait in a cab out front and let the meter keep ticking? Do you honestly feel like that's why I sent you? To sit out front?
No, I mean, again, this is all kind of new to me as far as emergencies.
Why did you say you could go?
I said I can go. I wanted to be here for Fez.
Look where you are, though. You're not there for him.
Tell them you're his partner. You know, his live-in partner, and they'll let you go in.
That's the problem. That's why
I had every intention of going in. I was waved
Seriously.
off by
Yeah.
You don't mean shit.
involved.
If you lived with a woman for 20 years,
Are you moving?
you go to the hospital, you're not family.
Chop to it, buddy boy, move it. And I'm moving fast enough for me.
What happened there, Earl?
It sounds like I heard chop. Did he take him to a Chinese restaurant?
If you do, get me a duck. I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, right.
And any kind of noodles. Lo mein, I guess. Just grab a bunch of lo mein.
Earl loves duck, especially when they're in a row.
Earl's over at the hospital right now with Fez. Fez had some chest pains, but then you did not go in with him for the testing.
I mean, again, I was told no by all parties involved. Fez didn't want me there. Doctors said I couldn't go.
Then why are you there?
I want to make sure he got here okay. I'm going to make sure he gets out okay.
Earl, you really let me down. I bet if it was Muni, you'd be in there with him. Just admit it. I'll give you this. You're good fucking radio.
He doesn't have the passion when it comes to Fez.
He should pull a John Q and just take over the hospital, and then he could see Fez when he wants to.
Let's not even joke about that. I don't want him. I laugh. That's why they probably don't let him in. They don't want another John Q there. David, you're on Ron and Fez. David.
Yeah, I was calling about the serving of the man or OJ in the area. They don't have to serve him if the basis of excluding him is because of an act he committed, but that doesn't stop him from suing them, and it doesn't stop him from taking it to some level. It's an issue of fact as to whether or not the exclusion was due to the murder, due to the death of his wife, or due to the fact he was black.
Thank you very much. OJ always keeps himself in the news, though. You got to give him that.
Yeah, he likes to be there. He's one of those people, they like to be there. You're talking the Tysons, the Mark Cubans, Parises. They just know how to get their name out there. They're quite talented at that.
There's a nice thing going on right now. I probably need to sign it. It's a petition to keep Paris out of jail. And it's all going to go to Governor Terminator. So I heard Regis mention on his show today, the people booed. The people want Paris Hilton to go to jail.
I think she's the number one villain in America.
Yeah.
Like real-life villain.
Right.
She's overthrown, say, Courtney Love, or at one point Donald Trump was probably the number one villain.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want her to go to jail?
Yeah, I'd love her to serve. She deserves it. She's a spoiled rich brat. I watch that show all the time with her and Nicole Richie, and I can't the way they treat these poor people. Like, you know, they get internships at a fast food place, and they're throwing the hamburger meat around. It's you know, to have some respect for others.
Pitsy, jail for it?
No, she does the public good when she's not in jail. We need more titty pictures. We need more sex tapes. That's what she does. We can't have that behind bars.
I'll tell you, she sucks a cock like she never saw one before, though. What's fucking Bob, stop? Bob, stop?
It's terrible.
I'll fucking grab you by the ears. You start pulling that shit with me.
Let's
find a rhythm, darling. Let's find a rhythm, and don't be looking at that fucking mirror.
It took me like 45 minutes.
To suck a cock.
To finish when I was spanking to that. I had to like refresh, click, refresh. It's just a hassle.
Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Earl, why didn't just barge into the doctor's office like you did when you and Fez were in Manelli's office?
Do me a favor. Call not Manelli. Call Earl back. I'm going to fucking hit him with that line. Beautiful, John. Perfect. And just put it up right away. You don't even get him. I'll take it right from the ring. That fucking prick. I can't believe he didn't go in.
Meek.
He's
going to inherit the earth. You know why?
By the time he gets it, it's going to be a shithole.
I don't know what he does.
I always thought it was the sheep shall inherit the earth. You got him? Earl.
Yeah.
Barge into that room, okay? Like it was Manelli's office.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard because it's a magnetic door.
That's how Manelli's office was, too. You found to get away through that, you beautiful musician.
I mean, it wasn't magnetic. I mean, it's a magnetic door.
What have you been doing all this time?
Waiting.
Hence the waiting room.
Is the waiting the hardest part?
Always.
Oh, okay.
Shrubby's doing a hell of a job, bro. I just want to let you know.
The next time that door opens, I want you to bust your way in there. And yell, I'm in radio, if anyone tries to stop you. Look at L.A. burning to the ground.
Every year.
Yeah, but not that part.
Where?
That's near the observatory, the Griffith Park.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was up there before. And that was also the same place in that James Dean movie.
Yeah, that's the observatory. Yeah, the observatory.
I went up there and I just started playing, having like a chickie fight with a knife with people. Here's Stryker. How you doing, Strike?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, I was reading an article on this thing with OJ, and OJ was a regular in that restaurant. I guess the owner even had pictures with the guy, with OJ, and after all this shit came down with OJ, the guy removed the pictures and said that he never wanted to see OJ again. And after OJ left, the owner of the restaurant actually got thank yous and applauds from the other patrons because they were glad he made them leave.
Yeah, but you could get thank yous and applause for throwing any black person out down south.
Well, yeah, that's true.
All right. Thanks, Stryker. There he goes. He can't seem to find a new character for himself.
No.
All right, there's a request now to put Shrubby in a cab and send him over.
He's a go-getter.
All right, my chick went to the hospital. Here's the thing.
Really?
Over to check, yeah. You can't trust her.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so call Earl back and tell him to get out. And he's paying for his own cab to come back. And then I'm not going to let him eat with us and say that he murdered people. You know what? I would have just kept OJ out of my restaurant for what he did to Notre Dame so many years in a row. He destroyed them.
Fucking USC.
Yeah. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I think all Earl's got to do is just go, why don't you let the black man in the hospital?
Earl will play the race card to get to the back of the bus for some reason. Hey, Earl, my chick showed up over there?
Yes.
Then you're out. Tap out.
All right, I'm heading back.
No, I want you to stay there.
Why is...
You know what? I want you to stay there in case she wants to get fried shrimp.
How come when you talk to Earl on the phone, and this is off the air, on the air, it's like when someone's talking to Moscow. Like CBS is talking to fucking Brokaw on location.
Oh, we're getting brave in that chair, aren't we?
No, dude, why is there such a delay? I'm actually just wondering, is it your phone or...
I mean, I'm in an emergency room. I have no idea how it sounds.
There's a delay in his brain. He has to translate his words into...
He called me Sunday night during Sopranos, and there was no talking, and I was listening to The Sopranos on delay from Earl's phone because there was nothing coming out of the other end of the phone.
Like now. Earl, I want you to stay there and give us updates.
All right. No, I mean, whatever is best, I will do.
It's always best that you stay out of the studio. It's not good for Fez, but it's good for us.
I'm sorry. I'm just freaking out a little bit.
Why are you freaking out?
Because I'm my friend. I'm concerned.
We're all concerned. That's why we act like we're not having the heart attack.
No, I mean, I'm not flipping. I'm just trying to.
You didn't go in with him the way I asked you.
Again, they would not allow me in, and Fez did not want me in.
You must have fucking put on some act for him to say, "Don't come in with me," because he left here. He's in fucking tears.
What's the antonym for rock? Because Earl is the least solid person that could have accompanied Fez right now.
He's liquid. He's been a liquid throughout this whole problem.
So let's switch places, Dave. You really are. You can talk when you talk.
What are you talking about? I love Fez more than you, apparently. That's all. I'm questioning your love. I would have gone in. I would have jumped on this fucking bed if I had to.
So shut up and come over here.
I will if I have to, but someone's got to turn the microphones on. Someone's got to fucking push the buttons over here, Earl.
Shut up and come over here.
I'm not going to shut up. I have passion for Fez Wally. Apparently you don't. What the hell? Where did he hung up? He's such a crybaby.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking useless. I hate to say it. There is no use for that man. There's nothing he excels at.
Napping.
He took that fucking picture of me and that old man today it might as well painted a portrait. He stands there, and then the flash doesn't go off. And I just say, fuck it.
And he gave you guys plenty of room above your heads, so it looks like you're drowning in the picture. It's like their heads are at the very bottom of the photo, and there's 3 feet.
I would say my head, Elmore Leonard's head. I'm a dick. There's the Flash walking by in a pair of shorts.
Yeah, Flash is back.
For what?
He's going to help out every so often.
Help out by what? Dating the other interns? This place is turning into the chocolate shop.
I asked Flash in the office, Mr. B, if he played John McEnroe right now, and I was dead serious, in a tennis match, because Flash plays tennis in college, who would win, and he truly thinks he could beat John McEnroe right now. And I was thinking, John McEnroe was what, like probably 46 or something like that. I don't think Flash could take McEnroe. I know McEnroe's older.
I'll tell you this, my friend knows McEnroe's brother. I bet Flash couldn't beat McEnroe's brother. Remember the brother used to?
Oh, Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick was underrated, man.
My friend Quinn plays, I think, at the same club as him in Connecticut.
The Flash is
underrated. He was rated.
The Flash is undefeated, too.
Yeah.
Still?
Yep. He's still undefeated in college.
This kid must be good.
He's excellent.
Flash, welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back.
Well, it's great. We like to have our interns start to pair off and be in relationships together.
Well, as I recall, that was kind of your idea. You were like, oh, man, go for it.
Did I?
Yes.
I always say that, no matter what.
Thanks.
So, you think you beat John McEnroe right now?
Sure. Bring him on.
Now, you undefeated how many matches in college?
6.
What is this college years? You only play like 3 a year.
Well, we're pretty good, so, they only use special situations.
Oh, so you don't play as much as the rest of the team.
Special situations. Spot starter.
All right.
The Ramiro Mendoza. Every World Championship team needs a Ramiro Mendoza.
But you're on varsity level?
That's correct.
How are you and Shelbank getting along?
Pretty well. It's going pretty well.
Good. She's a nice girl, too. I want you to treat her like a gentleman.
I'm hearing there was a talk of marriage.
You want to get married at the Hard Rock, let me know.
Thank you. Maybe right after Dave.
I'll 2-for-1 this. Hey, Pyle, you're on the air.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
Get my focus back.
You ready for us? We're coming, we'll be there Tuesday.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
Yeah, we're coming up by train.
Who, you and who?
Me and Kane.
Oh, yeah.
And is Fez going to be okay?
Well, if he's not, I will call you.
Oh, well, I'm still coming, though. And but I had an idea that me and Kane live with Fez. We could help him with his anxiety.
Actually, that's a fantastic idea.
And because I overcame because when Kane came to me, I don't have anxiety anymore.
Right, but you have an imaginary friend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm with Fez.
I'd rather have that than anxiety all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you play tennis at all, Pyle? I might have a match for you and Kane.
Back in maybe one set in high school, and then
Perfect.
I was too lazy, and I dropped out and took home ec or something.
Focus. Today's all about focus. All right, Pyle, you call us before you leave, okay?
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Can you? I need the address to your guys' studio when I come up.
I'm going to put you on hold, and the interns are going to confuse you. Well, that's going to be nutty when he gets here.
Oh, boy. Maybe not the best time, but...
You know what I might do with him? Have him go out with a date with Shelbank and just let her then choose. Does she want to be with the young college tennis pro, or would she like to go out with a guy who sees an imaginary wrestler who overtakes his body from time to time?
I would go with Pyle.
Yeah,
hey, you get more personalities.
Can he beat McEnroe?
Can you? That's
I don't think you can beat fucking John McEnroe.
You don't get to say, I can beat McEnroe, and then we all go, oh, I work with a guy who can beat McEnroe. You have to prove it.
This all seems pretty harsh pretty quickly.
You think you beat McEnroe's brother?
I'll take both. Can I get a doubles partner and take both of them?
How about Canadian doubles?
I think, didn't they, as brothers, didn't they win some tournaments?
Yeah, they won some Wimbledons.
Yeah.
John McEnroe won a lot of Wimbledon titles as a doubles player. Instead, doubles...
I'm talking about his brother, though. We ain't going to get John McEnroe.
We
might be able to get his brother to play.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
I know you are. I see that you're cocky. 6-0. Are you ranked? Nationally ranked?
Our team is regionally ranked.
I would love
We're all regionally ranked.
I beg to differ. There is only but so many spots in the region.
But I mean, anything. We can just say regionally. I'm considered one of the best on 202. Doesn't mean anything.
I would love it if Flash beat Sampras. I would root for McEnroe, but for you, if you went against Sampras, I'd definitely root for you.
Thanks. I was really hoping I'd have you in my corner for both of them.
What a fucking asshole that guy is.
Yeah, well, we got to be in his corner no matter who. Even if we bet against him.
No, I'm a big Johnny Mac fan.
Why?
You can count. I love the tantrums.
Is it the red hair, the Irish thing?
I love the spirit. I just love the spirit.
Makes sense. You guys got to stick together.
Come on in here, Hicks. I want you to try both these numbers. I haven't talked to her in a while. But this is the person who knows McEnroe's brother.
The great thing about Johnny Mac, too, that left that southpaw sort of approach that he takes. He truly does do the serve and volley to an expert level.
Just lob it. Then see what he does.
Then see what happens.
He'll fucking smash that shit.
I don't think so. He's going to break him. I'm now starting to believe in the Flash.
What?
Because you know what? You're coming in with your old 70s style. This kid's playing now, in the moment. Modern.
Johnny Mac would mentally eat the Flash alive.
I don't think so. Look at him now.
I
couldn't shake him. I couldn't shake him, and I tried to. Morgan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Jay, Ronnie, how you doing?
Hey.
Hey, did Earl get in with Fez yet?
No.
You gotta tell him. You gotta go up to the nurse and say he's his life partner.
That don't even work.
He'll cry.
That does not even work. Here's Paul. Paul, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
1867, boys.
Hey, my brother. What the hell was that?
Oh, my gosh, it's 11:30. I forgot I was gay.
I forgot we got soundboard, Fez.
I got 9 pricks in my chin.
Well, that's not him. So what are you going to say, bro?
I wanted to know if you guys ever saw the Pros versus Joes.
I have.
The Joes come in thinking these guys are in their 40s. There's no way they can still contend, and the Pros just smash them. And McEnroe, I'm sure he still got it.
I know McEnroe said, everyone got mad at him, he could still beat any woman in the world.
Yeah, he actually said he could beat Serena Williams when she was kicking ass.
He didn't want any part of it.
Nope.
T-Bird. T-Bird, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Flash, what college do you go to?
I attend Roanoke College.
What's that?
Roanoke College.
Roanoke. What division is that?
We're Division 3.
You're not even in Division 1, and you're talking trash about probably the most talented tennis player to ever play the game.
Division 3 is all heart, though. What we lack in recruiting.
Oh, you're so cocky. You're making me nuts.
You're saying Johnny Mac don't have heart. That's all he had.
Do you know who he is?
Past tense.
Dude, 2 years ago, John McEnroe played a top 20 player and beat him.
That must have been a lucky day.
You drive me crazy.
You're an asshole.
Seriously. You drive me insane.
I don't know what to tell you. Ride the streak. Ride the wave.
I want him to get destroyed now. I really do. I got a feeling that T-Bag could have beat him. It wouldn't matter who.
T-Bird.
Oh, what I call him.
T-Bag.
Is that bad?
Well, it's not his name. I mean.
Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Oh.
Love you guys. So I wanted to let you know that there's 2 petitions on iPetition.com. The one that says Free Paris Hilton has a total of 14,255 signatures. The one that says Jail Paris Hilton has a total of 21,220, and it's added about 375 since I've been on hold.
Yeah, people love the negative. There's no doubt about it. What about this? I say she can go free, but she's got to pull a train on a bunch of veterans, which I would have no problem with.
Oh, if she was willing to compromise, sure. Then she's allowed to be a free bird.
I like the attitude, free bird, too. When we break here, we'll be back in a few moments. Ron and Fez show.
Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, The Ron and Fez Show.
XM 202.
No, they're really like. No, but imagine, you see, well, I didn't mean you and. No, but those guys. No, they're really like. No, but imagine, you see, well, I didn't mean you and. No, but those guys. No, I didn't mean you and. Well, I didn't mean you and. No, but those guys. No, but those guys. No, but imagine, you see. No, they're really like. Well, I didn't mean you and. No, but those guys. No, they're really like. No, but imagine, you see.
Bud, you gotta put the mics on. Thank you very much, slow man. 866 Ron Zero Fez. A little weird day around here.
Strange.
There goes the music quick. It comes up high, no mic, then it just disappears. Ron and Fez show, we did have Fezzy in this morning. He hasn't been feeling well, and then he went back to the hospital today. It's really weird. Like, sometimes the only time you can talk to him is on the air. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The only time he would pay attention. Off the air, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. But last night, even then again today when he had it, then you talk to him on the air, and then suddenly, like, he's focused, and he's like, yeah, maybe I should. Like, he won't think of things unless there's a microphone in front of him.
He needs to have, like, a Radio Truman Show done to him, where he's just on 24/7.
Sometimes I'm afraid that he actually thinks that. Well, life, must go on, which means here comes Mikey Boy with his big show.
Won't you, big brother, big brother? It's a Big Brother update.
Yeah, how you doing, Mikey Boy? Good to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we're down to 4 people now. It's 3 black women, Lakeisha, Melinda, and Jordan, and then 1 white guy left. That's Blake, the beatboxer. And he's just become absolutely awful. He had 1 good week with his beatboxing and just has decided to throw into everything, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. But he should, by all rights, be sent home, but he probably won't just because he's the last male, and he's this sort of somewhat feminine, non-sexual teeny bopper thing that the 14-year-old girls will probably love. So he's probably going to stick around even though he's absolutely awful. So I think the one to go is probably going to be Lakeisha this week.
Who's that, fat girl?
Yeah.
Who's going to win this thing, in your opinion?
What's that?
Who's going to win?
I've been thinking Melinda. I think Jordan has an outside chance of pulling up and actually winning it all at this point. She's got a lot of momentum. But
Melinda is no knack and Jordan is biggin'?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because I have my own names for everybody.
That's good. The other thing is, I thought it was really odd that Paula Abdul seems to be in love with Blake, the beatboxer guy.
Yeah.
And she keeps going on about how current, he's so current, new, and hip and everything, because he's got this stupid beatbox thing. But, I mean, I'm not real into history of beatboxing or anything else, but I was always under the impression sort of beatboxing peaked in, like, the late 80s.
Yeah, I don't know if the beatbox things was ever big to, like, get on the radio or anything either, was it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think she seems to think he's got some kind of his own thing that's going to be the next big thing. But it's just, I mean, oversaturation of it is just awful. I mean, it just keeps getting worse and worse now that he's throwing it in all the time. And I mean, I think he kind of has to because he's not that good of a singer, and it's the thing that's going to keep him afloat. So, I don't know. It's just ridiculous, though.
So you're not overly impressed with where he's going with this whole thing?
No. I mean, it's his gimmick. He's got to use it. But it's just ridiculous the way he's using it at this point. And everything's got to have a little breakdown or something like that, where he does a little spitting and the echoing and stuff like that. So it's kind of ridiculous.
I think you're going to end up winning this thing. I do. I agree with you. I think he's going to get the white girl vote.
Yeah, but I can't. I mean, it just seems like if he has a whole album of that, I can't see it being anything bigger than a gimmick. I can't see it selling. But who the hell do I know? What do I know?
All right, Mikey. You sure seem to love the show.
Yeah.
We'll get a hold of Earl again. By the way, Mikey, if you ever need anything from the show, just get a hold of Shrubby.
Okay.
Shrubby has been doing fantastic work for us.
Sounds good.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Won't you, big brother, big brother? It's a Big Brother update.
There they go. The Big Brother update. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, Dave.
Sorry about that. This is for Eastside Dave. Look, John McEnroe and Pete Sampras are both on tour with each other, playing at different venues. They're actually going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina, here coming up, I think, in the next month or so, playing against each other.
Oh, well, then I hope Johnny Mac destroys him, because Pete Sampras has no manners.
But they're still, playing full force physical against each other, so I would imagine they're probably in pretty good shape and probably ready to play at any time.
Yeah, they're going to be strong, no doubt about it. Peace.
I think that goes more to my McEnroe argument then, because Sampras is at least 10 years his junior.
Get a hold of Earl for me real quick, and then we'll bring Crystal in. Let me go to Craig. Craig, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, that beatboxing thing isn't so current either. It's Justin Timberlake uses it all the time.
Justin brings it back in a big way? Justin seems to be big with the girls, though, huh?
Justin Timberlake, yeah.
Yeah.
He, Cameron Diaz, and then you're talking Britney Spears, of course, and there was a third one there. Scarlett Johansson. So
I only see that as a guy who slept with 3 chicks. I can't be overly impressed.
Very hot chicks, though.
Fez Watley feeling some chest pain, so he went off to the hospital today. We're going to check back in with the man in black, Earl Douglas. Earl, what's the latest update?
Right now, no progress. They're working on them. We're looking at them.
What do you mean they're working on them?
Oh, they're looking at them.
Yeah.
Still running some tests.
I don't think he's at a hospital, Mr. B.
Probably at the Old Tower Records trying to figure out what leftover stuff he can take home. Earl, coming up next, the book is I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, The Dirty Life and Times of Warren Zevon. Crystal Zevon, his wife, is going to be here, and we'll bring her in now.
So much to do, there's plenty on the farm. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Saturday night, I like to raise a little harm. I'll sleep when I'm dead. From the bottom, twisted and dead. All right. Well, take this medicine as prescribed. I'll sleep when I'm dead. It don't matter if I get a little tired. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I've got a 38 special up on the shelf. I'll sleep when I'm dead. If I start acting stupid, I'll shoot myself. Then I'll sleep when I'm dead. So much to do, there's plenty on the farm. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Saturday night, I like to raise a little harm. I'll sleep when I'm dead. All right.
There he is, the great Warren Zevon, the name of the book now about his life. I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, The Dirty Life and Times of Warren Zevon. Crystal is here. You were married to Warren Zevon, at what point in his career?
We got together around 1971.
Yeah.
And we were together through the 70s.
So through the 70s, which was really probably the most creative time in Warren Zevon's life, and also the darkest times probably too. That's when he was full out into the rock and roll lifestyle, the California lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys hook up?
Well, we met because I was going out with the guitarist Waddy Wachtel.
Yeah.
And Warren hired Waddy to play with the Everly Brothers.
Right.
I picked Waddy up from the airport one time after a tour, and he asked me to give Warren a ride. Our eyes met in the rearview mirror, literally. Mm-hmm. And we moved in together about 3 weeks later.
Waddy was okay with that, or?
Well, it was the 70s.
Yeah, it was the 70s. Yeah. By the way, if you know, Waddy has played on just about every album that was recorded in California, or anybody who's ever been out there. He's just really well-known session player, and also has toured with just about everybody. So there's Warren Zevon. There's no doubt about it. The guy's a songwriting genius. But you go through this book, and a lot of the book is just you interviewing people and letting them speak. Also not the easiest guy in the world to work with, to get along with, to have a relationship with.
That's true.
What do you think that's about? Is it the same thing that made him great, made it rough, or what?
I think the book asks that question. I don't know that I have an answer. I mean, as I was working on the book, I'd say, does genius, does great art excuse excess?
Right.
I don't know that there is an answer, but I think that's the question the book asks.
And it's, it's not a new concept. I mean, some of the people who have created the finest art that the planet's ever seen have also been real bastards and difficult on everyone around them.
Yeah, I don't want to say that he was a real bastard because he had the other side. I mean, he was clearly an alcoholic. I mean, he had the disease of substance abuse, and he couldn't handle that. And then when he got sober, it sort of went into other areas of the obsessive compulsive stuff, sexual obsession. But I think that if you couple that with genius,
most of us would choose it. Most of us would say before we live that mediocre life, we would take the dark things along with the genius.
I guess so.
Because it has to, well, maybe I'm just speaking for males. Because, there might be something about men that you want to leave that imprint. And he has. Those songs are going to live as long as people are listening to music.
Yeah.
But again, maybe not the easiest thing for you to, deal with. I mean, I guess when you hear a lot of these songs, you have the memories of everything that went into them.
Yes, I do. But also, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
I mean, when the songs were coming, were generally the good times. Although there were times when he would create an argument and then later confess that, well, I had to go through that because I needed something for a song. So, again, I guess back then I was using right along with him.
Sure.
So you sort of forgive that,
but he out-partied everybody, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that you talked about in the book, if you followed rock and roll and you read any of these stories, some of them were already legendary stories before you wrote about them. And even by him, it's not like he ever tried to cover up his bad behavior, right?
No, I mean, I think when after he sobered up, he got very reclusive and was more compartmentalized, but certainly not during his heyday.
And it's also important to say that when he sobered up, he went out of his way to help other people.
Absolutely.
Deal. And I'll get to that, a little later, but because at the end of his life, he made some other choices that I'm sure people in the program weren't too happy about. But I'm thinking about that Martin Scorsese. It was a short film with Nick Nolte, where he would make sure he was an artist, and he made sure he had these blow-ups and fights with women, and after that came the great art. It's almost like that was the muse, was not so much the woman, but the heartbreak that came from what happened there, and I guess it's not conscious, but it happens, right?
Yeah, I think that was true in his case. Yeah, I don't even know that it was unconscious all the time because he
knew.
He would apologize for it afterwards. But then he would say, "Look at this song."
Right.
You know, accidentally like a martyr.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
amazing
what
stuff.
do you want to say?
Right, and you know, I mean, there's one song, and we could go into tons of them, but no one else could have written. I mean, they're really not just brilliant songs, but there's a strangeness to them. There's another worldness to them.
Yeah, there is.
Very unique.
It's very unique. I mean, you know, one of my favorite songs is off the Life Will Kill You album, which I think is a great album that everybody should go out and buy. Because I mean, I do think it's one of his masterpieces. But the album ends with this simple little lullaby to people as they're aging, you know, don't let us get sick. Now, this was before he was diagnosed, but, you know, just don't let us get sick, don't let us get old, don't let us get stupid, all right? You know, I mean, that's just that little tiny twist of phrase is...
And who expected that in rock and roll songs? You know, I mean, most of the time... you know, most of our really great songs, the lyrics aren't really well thought now. And people that are great songwriters, Bruce Springsteen was a big fan, Jackson Browne, and all those people were, I guess, drawn to him over the years.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to do it over, would you just wrote it out the same way with them, or would you have done some things differently?
No, I'm sure I would have done plenty of things differently. You know, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Would I have not had the experience? Would I have?
Right.
I can't answer that because it is certainly a part of who I am and who I became, and not all good. You know, I've never remarried, and in fact,
because it's still Warren after all these years.
I don't want to say that,
right?
But the truth is, it was a hard act to follow,
right?
And it's not really even what I want. I mean, I'd like a quiet, normal life, but it's sort of part of that whole thing. Once you've had somebody that after you have a fight, what they come back with is this song. You know, I don't know. And I'm not the only one. As I did these interviews, I interviewed a lot of his girlfriends, became friends with them, and some of them I was friends with already. And the majority of his really close girlfriends never got married. I mean, it's an odd, and I don't know if that's coincidental. I don't know what. But,
a hell of a legacy to leave behind. That,
I know.
You know,
a trail of tears.
Yeah, it's a trail of tears, and it will never be good enough now. But you know, again, it's almost like he had that shooting star thing his whole life, but it was interesting to see that he dealt with some of this. How long was he sober? Throughout the 80s and 90s?
Not all of the 80s. He got sober on March 19th, 1986.
Right.
So he was sober for about 17 years.
Sober for about 17 years, and I've known, you know, there's stories of people that he's shown up and helped and all this stuff. But the moment that he finds out he has cancer and it's incurable, he started to get high again.
Not the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, the first few weeks he was doing on this sort of spiritual search, like you know, should I go to India and be burned on a funeral pyre and my ashes scattered in the Ganges? Should I become Catholic and confess all and, you know, be redeemed? Should I, you know, my father's Jewish, my mother's Mormon. You know, he was really seeking the answers until finally he, you know, said, well, what I do, my spiritual path is music, and I write songs. And he wanted to leave something for his kids, his own legacy, of course.
Right.
And to find a way to sort of say goodbye, make amends, whatever, to a lot of people. So that last album, The Wind, is a very personal album.
And it's a phenomenal album. I mean, you're really, you know, because so many people hit middle age and rock and roll and they've lost it. You had the feeling with that album, everything went into it. But, you couldn't have asked for any more. It was Grammy winners and all kinds of stuff, and great people showed up to play with him. But also, what did that do to his sober friends in the program to see he's drinking again, and all the old behavior came back, right?
Well, it came back. It was different.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, for one thing, he was suffering with this diagnosis. He actually isolated, whereas back in the 70s, you know, he was out there
in a party,
big time. So he, you know, at one point locked himself in his apartment, and, you know, we all thought he was drinking himself to death, and I think that, in fact, is what he started out to do. But after that, he tried to pull himself together. I mean, it was very difficult. He was halfway through the album, and Jorge Calderon, was trying to pull him out, get him into the studio. The last vocals on the album, they had to bring the studio stuff to him in his apartment. So it was difficult. It was heartbreaking for the kids. But I mean, who could fault someone when how does anyone know what they're gonna...
Yeah, I'm pro-choice myself, so.
Yeah.
But I could imagine the people who are like, man, he helped me so much get sober. It had to be shocking. And then people who went, oh man, here I am dealing with this guy again after 17 years that I haven't seen. Because I don't know what it is about alcoholism, but whenever you restart, you kind of start right where you left off.
Absolutely.
So there's no kind of, I can have 2 drinks with dinner. A guy like this. Warren Zevon could drink more than anyone else. It wasn't that he couldn't drink. It said that he was great at it.
Yeah. No, when he first got diagnosed, he called me often. I'm sober. And he said, they'll give me all them Elvis drugs. And I'd say, well, is that how you want to go out? Is that the legacy you want to leave? And, which he knew is what I'd say. But he had a lot of people around him who didn't know him during those days. And because he was legendary, there were a lot of people who said to me afterwards, well, let's face it, I wanted to know what it would be like to drink with the wild Warren Zevon. And so, out of ignorance, people, and you can't not forgive him, but he wasn't abusive in the same way. My daughter said, Dad, I can't come over if you're drunk. I can't bear to see it. So you've got to let me know if I'm coming over not to come. So she didn't get to see him as much as she would have liked during that last year because he honored that. I mean, he respected that. And he did get sober to see his grandsons born and to really be with his family at the end.
Yeah. I had a very tough time listening to the last album, and it was tough even the Grammys to see all those guys come out that had happened after Warren had died. But over the course of his life, I know that he had fans and all, but still the general public, Where Was the London is what they've known, and a couple others. And I think, didn't he do a Larry Sanders where he was kind of reforced to do? And I thought by the way, I think he could have been an actor. I thought he was terrific in that episode.
But he loved acting.
Yeah.
He loved acting. I mean, actually, when I talked to Billy Bob Thornton, he said, God, it's such a shame if he just could have lived. I'm finally in a position where I could, I could have brought him into things. And
he and Billy Bob Thornton became friends towards the end of his life.
Yeah, in the 80s.
In the 80s? Oh, I didn't know it went back that far. I thought it was like late 90s.
No, I think it was in the 80s.
Talking about Warren Zevon, Crystal Zevon is here. She is written a new book, and just tons of people. Go through some of the names of the people that you interviewed that are in this book.
Well, the famous people are, Springsteen to Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Browne, David Crosby, Stephen King, Mitch Albom, Carl Hyacin, a lot of writers.
Yeah.
But, there's also the roadies, the sidemen, the girlfriends, the family.
Right.
And some of my favorite stories actually come out of the roadies.
Just everybody that know him over the years.
Yeah.
But, one of the interesting things is how many great people know him. We just had Elmore Leonard in here a little while ago. And all those songs would fit in with the Elmore Leonard novels.
He loved Elmore Leonard.
Yeah. It would have been cool to have you guys meet. But, yeah, it's almost like that kind of writing put to rock and roll, which was the amazing thing about Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
You're out on the road now promoting this, and people, I guess you can buy the book anywhere, but you also have a website, crystalzevon.com.
Right.
This is the first book you've ever done, or?
This is the first book, yeah.
And it's something that you knew that you were going to do for a long time? I know you kind of talked about that a little bit.
Well, yes. I mean, actually, something that's not in the book is that we talked about writing his biography when we were before the first Asylum album, before the Warren Zevon album. So, so that tells you something right there.
Well, everybody was kind of waiting for him to be a novelist. I think there was something about it, but ADD. I mean, he wasn't the type of person that could sit down with that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know that it's ADD, but he couldn't write in that form. He wanted to. He so wanted to. In there's I scanned a little notebook that when we were in Spain, he started writing a detective series, and his detective's name was Whip S. Bug. I just scanned a few pages.
It was always interesting to me, though, how many novelists are into him. You say after he quit drinking, it all came out in all different kind of ways, though, right? The sexual stuff, loved women, had to be around women, but there's one of the things that came up was the porn collection that he had, that he asked his son to make sure, get rid of this after I'm gone.
Yep.
And the thing was that the porn tapes were of Warren.
Yes.
I mean, it's one thing to say go. And by the way, you have cancer. You know you're dying. You can get rid of the porn tapes long before the last moment. But I guess he felt he had to have them.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
It would be so fascinating. And, it happens all the time. Well, when you were with him in the 70s, we really didn't have rehab. So, I mean, that people would have been pushing him. If he was a young artist today, by the time he's in the first, halfway to the second album, the record companies themselves would be saying, let's get you some help. There was no way to do that then.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if in another 10 to 15 years, are we going to learn so many more? We will find out maybe what makes genius go off in these other dark areas.
I would, yeah. I mean, I would think so. And that's probably... although, I guess if you look back through history, it hasn't changed so much.
Right.
There's people who talk about great prophets, and that the great prophets would now be diagnosed as bipolar, given a pill, and we wouldn't have them.
Yeah, right. Slow down. Be like everybody else. Maybe you need all this. Crystal Zevon, congratulations, too. I think it's a wonderful book, and it's also great for me to hear so many of these people talking about them, people that we know and people that we don't know. I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, The Dirty Life and Times of Warren Zevon. She's going to be appearing at Books and Books in Coral Gables, Florida, May 12th.
Right.
And you're out doing the book tour now?
I am.
And it's also crystalzevon.com. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Let's go out with Carmelita. I love that song.
Oh, yeah.
I hear mariachi static on my radio, and the tubes, they glow in the dark, and I'm there with her in Ensenada, and I'm hearing Echo Park. Carmelita, hold me tighter, I think I'm sinking down. I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. Yeah, I'm sitting here playing solitaire with my pearl-handled deck. The county won't give me no more methadone. They cut off your welfare check. Carmelita, hold me tighter, I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. where chickens stand. Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town. Carmelita, hold me tighter. I think I'm sinking down, and I'm all strung out on heroin on the outskirts of town.
All right, I'm going to go get high now. I can't help it. Yeah, we just had Crystal Zevon in here. I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, The Dirty Life and Times of Warren Zevon. That's the book. It's a fun read if you like rock and roll, songwriting, stuff like that. Very nice lady, seemed like, you know, normal person. But I got to tell you this, Dave. So we throw this song on, and I go, let me get Earl's card for you, and I'll give it to you because he's not here. And if you ever need anything while you're on the road, I come back and give it. Her eyes are all filled up, and she goes, this was the first song that I ever heard of Warren.
Oh, my God.
The first song that was played for me. And I'm like, had this like little moment.
Wow.
You know?
That's emotional. Very emotional day.
Oh,
you had a connection with Mrs. Zevon.
I really did, and I felt like and if I would have known them, I'd have always been going like this. No, he spent last night at my house. I would have lied to her. I would have lied to her. My favorite part of the whole story was, none of the women were able to go on and have normal lives after they got banged by Warren Zevon. What a hysterical story. Like, hey, when I die, make sure you throw out my porn. And it's you banging chicks one after another.
You know what I didn't know? I thought that got brought up in the interview was that he started getting high when he got cancer. I had no idea about that.
A lot. Some guys do that. Actually, a friend of mine did it not too long ago, about 2 years ago.
Huh.
And it fucks with everyone else, you know, who's trying not to get high, because you're like, well, what did I do? I mean, you know, all of us are dying anyway. But again, if you're pro-choice, you got to respect whatever anyone's doing.
And you say, I mean, you can't really say anything because the guy's sick, right? I mean,
it's up to him. I mean, I don't say anything to anybody, whatever they're fucking doing. I mean, if you that way, it doesn't mean I can always hang out with you, you know, anymore. But I don't hate anyone who decides I need to, you know, I need fucking something to get through the day. I understand that feeling as much as anyone else.
Yeah. It's just weird to me.
What, to just give up on the 17 years before?
Yeah, that's the part, you know. I mean, it happens so quick, it sounded.
You know, I know so many junkies that they'll break their leg, they'll get some medicine, and after a decade, they're fucking right back. And it's just from medicine. You know, and like people were going, you know, like people always say, why don't you just have one drink or two drinks? You're fucking killing the guy by saying that. Because I will not stop at one or two drinks.
It's impossible.
For some people, I would say impossible. It is the Ron and Fez show. Fezzy, over at the doctor's. We'll check back in with Earl in just a little bit. Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
What's up, Ronnie? How's it going?
Good.
Good. Listen, I don't know if you realized it, but when you said you were going to play that song, Carmelita, you heard Mrs. Zevon just sigh really, really deeply. Go back to the tape, man.
Yeah, I felt just, you know, like a little sad, but kind of moved by that, you know, here she's starting her book tour. Maybe that's a nice little sign for her.
Yeah.
Because you could see this isn't what she does. You know, you could see that this is the first time that she's ever done anything like this. Kind of, you know, middle-aged to jump into a book tour and going back and talking about Warren, but maybe that was a good omen for her.
It's funny when, like, you know, you hear about someone who's so crazy and so insane, and then you meet, like, their boyfriend or girlfriend, and they turn out to be so normal.
I know.
She was so normal.
You know why? Because, like, when you are fucking crazy, you want somebody to anchor you to the earth.
Right.
You don't want anybody flying out there in space with you, you know?
Isn't that what Claire was to Dave back then, too?
You're a son of a
Where
bitch.
would that come from?
How the fuck does that come up?
But I will admit this. Claire will never marry. I write that down. Claire will never marry. She'll never find another.
All right.
That's all you want.
I'm running it down.
I couldn't tell you how much I love that story when she said that. Yeah, that's perfect.
I ruined her.
Earl, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
What are you calling us for?
I was called. I'm just calling to let you know that they're still running tests on Fez, and everything so far is pretty good.
So he's faking?
How can things be good if you don't know the results yet? You're lying to Ron again.
What do you mean? I'm telling you what I know, Dave.
What do you know? What came back good?
They said they ran one EKG. They're running another one. And
why are you annoyed with us? Why are you annoyed? Why are you annoyed?
No, I'm not annoyed. I'm annoyed at Dave's attitude towards me. I'm telling you what I know.
Which is that you would not go in with them.
We're waiting on the results of the second EKG.
All right, Earl. Sorry to put you out.
No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just a little wound up right now.
Why? And the rest of us are doing a show. You don't feel like we're wound up? Chris, you don't think I'd rather be sitting in the waiting room having bubble gum and looking through this week's Time Out in New York? Sure. That's got to be a great day for you.
No, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm really concerned. It's Fez. I love Fez, and I want the best for him.
I wasn't aware who it was all this time.
Yeah. But I tell you something, you're poetry when you start to do that. Just absolute poetry. Oh, by the way, Crystal Zevon said that she hates you. And that Warren remembered you from the NEW days, and he hated you then. And she just wanted to tell you to your face. She was so upset you weren't here.
It couldn't have been hate.
Yeah, it was you. Because she described you. Well, she just said the N-word. And we went, yeah, that's the guy.
She used that word.
Yeah. I think I did. Yeah, I think it was me.
It was you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she laughed and gave me 2 thumbs up. All right, Earl.
All right, guys.
All right, call us back with nothing later by the end of the show, okay?
All righty.
All right, smaller than life. Remember that. You're on the radio. Smaller than life. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Try to get hold of Quinn for me again. I'm trying to see if we can't get the Flash, who shot his mouth off today with you, said that he could beat John McEnroe in a match.
Any McEnroe.
Any McEnroe.
I mean, if he thinks he can beat John, then he thinks he could probably dominate Patrick.
Ain't gonna happen. Seth, you're on Ron and Fez.
As much as I hate that fainting eunuch, he did a great job booking guests today.
You know, I enjoyed the guests. I don't know how they went over with the general public.
Actually,
I gotta tell you the truth.
I hate to interrupt here, Ron, but I was told that Shrubby actually was in control of the guests today.
Shrubby. By the way, I had to move Shrubby. It's in between me and Mrs. Zevon. This is like, Crystal's like this all day. Yes, I'd like to be anywhere but here.
I thought it was really good, I have to say.
Sure, you know why?
Why?
Kiss up.
No, I'm not. I think Warren Zevon is a fascinating
he is.
musician.
Have you read the book?
No, I'm going to.
Here you go. I'm going to sign it from Warren.
Okay, well, you shouldn't have told me that.
To Dave from Warren. Keep on rocking.
Hey, you know what? I still have, you once did that with the Bob Dylan magazine, and it looks so real that I have it framed, and I just tell everyone, that's the real thing. I told my brother, who's a big Dylan fan. Mm-hmm. Everyone's just, like, so proud.
So I'm helping you live a lie. All right, we got Quinn? No. Now we're back to not having. It's a funny little room in there today. Lily said she came running over to help out when she heard about Fez. I don't know where she is right now, but I saw her in the hall and she yelled at me. The only reason I'm here is to help.
She's coming.
Yeah. Is she? Come on in here, Lily. By the way, this new thing of hers of just going straight headband, it's actually working for her because it makes her seem like a Native American. Hi, Lily.
Hi.
So you're listening to the show today. You heard Fez go down.
Yeah.
And figured what?
I had to come in and be the mother.
So that's a poke at him, huh?
I can't.
No,
you
it's
just
not
poked
for
at
him, for you guys.
Just
you guys
attacked.
are a bunch of crazy people.
You attacked his masculinity, though.
It really does. You're like our mom left, and now you're gonna come. I got to go over to the Lost Boys. You're Wendy in the middle of the Lost Boys. That's how she sees herself. We're trying. We do have Quinn now. No. Did you say I want it?
Yeah, we said we were going to give her a call back, so we're just trying to get through right now.
Get through where? What does she have happened in her life that's so damn big she can't take a call from a national radio show?
I really sound like Earl now.
Yeah, all you have to do is start every sentence with a no, and you're White Earl.
You have become Earl just by sitting in his seat. That's how easily you've been able to do it. Of course, normally you have you sitting next to you, not Pepper Hicks, who, by the way, I heard from two different guests today. That kid looks like a fucking mess. Seriously.
You're extra sweaty today. You're hiding something.
You know what you seem like, Pepper? That 3 days you're high and you're on just some kind of a fucking run, and then you pass out on the floor, maybe using a pile of dirty clothes as a pillow, and then you wake up and realize you're late to come in here and come rushing in.
That happened, Mr. B. Fuck! Well, how did this slip my mind? I happened to be late because I had some phone calls and stuff to make, and at 10:45, I'm on the subway station, and there's Pepper trying to avoid me seeing him. He was doing the old burying his head in a newspaper trick.
Smart.
And he's like, yeah, I overslept. It was the exact thing that you just fucking said.
Yeah, I slept in real late today, and I made sheets of my bed. I was a real mess this morning. Sorry.
What is it? What demons are you fighting?
I don't know. I got a lot of stress. I'm trying to keep things together.
What stress do you have?
I got to work 2 jobs. I got a lot of things on my plate.
All I know that you do is smoke pot and watch bootlegs. And he has to listen to him.
Oh my God!
Well, he's 22 years old with that hack.
You're gonna be bunking with Fez.
How old are you, kid? Seriously,
I'm 23.
Jesus. And nobody would say a day under 43. He is living dog years. He is shooting through his life like they have no time. You know what? Give him that, Warren Zevon. Take it away from yourself. And I want you, and just here's what I want you to do. Every time it says Warren, cross it out and write Pepper, and make him think that that's his life.
That's not fair.
Because that's your life in the future.
Yes, it is.
On March 19th, 1986, Pepper marked his first day free of all mind-altering substances.
Oh, geez, that's a weird one to open up, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Of all the pages.
And then the second he gets cancer. Let's get fucking high. Let's get some scotch.
That's scary, man. It's really scary.
Scary is to see you when you're drunk. That's the real frightening thing. You're what keeps me sober. When I see the way you treat yourself when you're drunk and those around you. You threw up on yourself the other night. You didn't even care.
I know. That was a rough night.
You stayed at the party.
Yes. That
kept drinking.
That happens to me.
And that happens okay if you're 17.
Yeah.
That's like cute and fun. You're 29.
Right.
You're throwing up in the street when you're 29. You're pathetic.
I know. The pissing on the Israeli embassy, everything. It has to stop eventually. I really should stay away from hard liquor. I should just be a beer man.
But I know that you can't quit like that. You're either in or you're out. Because once you're drinking beer, then you go, fuck it, let's do shots. But I would say this about you. Most people have a bottom. But I've seen you sober drink your own piss. So I have no idea where you could possibly bottom out.
Yeah.
That would put 99% of people would go to rehab if they drank their own piss, just freaked out by their behavior.
Yeah. Well,
so you put a bagel up your ass.
I love liquids. That's a thing ever since I was a kid. No. Though I have tasted.
All right, let me ask you this, Lily. Could you ever see yourself dating a person that acted like Dave? I want you to be honest.
Probably not. It'd be too much of a hassle to, like, worry about him. Is he going to be able to make it home okay? Carrying him out of the bar. But I do love Dave, but I don't think I could.
Well, what about this? You not in the sexual way.
Why not?
Only Casey, you know, that tipped the apple cart.
No, I'm happy with that. I only want
we
Casey.
Can't even believe that she wants you in a sexual way. We're all thrown off by that. And actually, HTG said to me last night, she goes, "The fuck is in Casey's head?"
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, there you go. Little snippy behind the back, huh?
Licking a giant statue. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the Warren Zevon thing for you. Would you like a nice decent guy who would lead that middle-of-the-road life, be a good father, or would you like to be with a brilliant genius who's creating stuff and you're his muse? You're the one that he's obsessed with.
Oh, I'd have to go with the...
Even though there's a downside.
I know.
There's darkness. Sometimes he shows up at your house and he slices your name in his forehead and yells, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you love me the way I need?"
I think I would prefer that to the boring guy.
Boring but good, like a good man, a good, decent guy.
God, I don't know.
This guy's
so
going to be
hard because it's like, can a normal, relationship like that be as, intense and as fulfilling? It can't,
No.
So I think you need that.
You're going to get higher highs, but then you also get lower lows.
Yeah. But the bad has to go with the good.
Right. And the good goes with the bad. What do you think, Dave?
I would, oh my God, I would take the crazy chick any day of the week. And I have. That's precisely what I mean. I'm not. No.
Case is crazy?
I meant fun. Whereas my the ex was...
So you're Crystal in your relationship.
Yeah, you could say that. I'm Mrs. Zevon.
Would you rather live your life like a madman, even like sometimes going broke and being a junkie, as long as you could create great things?
Yes, 100%. I would risk everything. I'd risk homelessness.
Right.
I would lay it all
You'd rather
on the
be
line.
Jim Morrison, die at 27.
Yes.
Have that life.
Oh, fuck yes. I one of the things that for whatever reason is in my head is, what legacy am I going to leave behind, if anything? And I know I'm fucking not probably going to leave any kind of legacy, but that
piss drinking thing, I'll spread that story.
I don't want that. I want some kind of real contribution, and I would rather die tomorrow if I could have the contribution that Morrison had over fucking Pat Sajak or something like that.
Let's not put down Pat Sajak. Pitsy, what about for you?
I think I would be the normal guy.
You have a choice?
Yeah.
I don't think you do. I think you are the normal guy that we're talking about.
Yes, you are.
The guy that you might marry, Lily, but she fantasizes about another wilder, more exciting guy while she's with you.
But then do you think I could become the crazy guy?
No.
No,
You have to have it in you.
You can't. Yes. Well, Pepper Hicks has it in him. Lily would much rather marry Pepper than you. Get used to it.
And it's not your fault because you know where we get that craziness from?
Your father?
Yeah, having fathers. So it's not your fault. You missed out on the how to become a crazy wild poet thing.
I was doomed from the start, I guess.
Yeah. What happens when you're with those nice guys that just a little too dull for you? They can't stand. They don't like.
You don't date them anymore.
Ooh, shooting down Than.
Yeah. Well, Than dumped her.
Yeah.
And Pantera was your dull guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really dogged them, but, they lack that sort of passion that I think I need. I need that,
excitement level.
Bear hug?
Excitement.
Was that, what was that?
I don't know.
You need to have your fucking windpipe.
Yeah.
Don't move when I fuck you.
Yeah.
What about Jiven? How was Jiven?
Jesus Christ.
He kept hitting the
he doesn't listen to the
He was constantly hitting the edit button.
Yeah, he's absolutely insane. He's
he's a wild
dark
man.
side, yeah.
That's why you loved him so much.
Yeah.
You still do.
You can see that, Jevin. He seems like we're all from the same tribe. He's, there's no fucking strange thing that he ended up with us.
He's got huge anger issues, too.
Yeah.
It's hysterical.
What's he mad about?
I don't know. He's always just so angry about things.
Constantly have to edit the word scumbag on me. Last night I got dumped out. This is how bad terrestrial radio is. We do the free FM show. I got dumped out during a fucking commercial.
Yeah.
A commercial. Because I said, don't be a scumbag. Take good care of your mother. And they go, oh, my God, that's a soiled condom.
Who thinks of it like that? It's the same thing as a fucking dirtbag.
Well, I talked to them today, and they go, why would you compare people to cum-filled condoms?
Oh, okay, so then...
And I go, I meant to. And then the other thing, I fucked up and said Chinaman. I go, I don't care what Chinaman comes around. I forgot there was the Chinese problem. But I didn't mean that in a disparaging way.
No. But, you did the best you could.
Well, I make mistakes. Just human.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Here's Tony. Tony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing? I got a comment regarding the legacy you're leaving behind. You know, if you're going to die early and leave a legacy behind, you're really living your life for other people and thinking about your own legacy. I mean, realistically, what would you rather do? Live a full life of 70 years old or die young and give up your own life because of what other people think of you? I mean,
first of all, that's two different things.
Are you dying for other people like Jesus, or are you going to live your own life till like 70 or 80?
But if you live to 70 or 80 and you've done and experienced nothing, or if you know what it been since you used Jesus, you know what it means to touch people. Who is alive and who has stayed asleep their whole life?
Yeah, Jesus is the one who's alive, even though he went out early.
Right.
You want that visceral shit, you know?
He went out. Jesus went out like Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi fan since day one.
In a blaze of glory. Jesus knew the way to do this thing. He went out 33, peaking. And no one ever brings this up. Fantastic abs. And you can see it on the cross. I mean, basically, the guy was ripped. So your thing is this, Tony. You don't want to play it too safe for 80 years and do nothing, right?
True.
You want, and the whole thing about live for other people. I understand you there, but at the same point, you don't want a selfish life. It's only a matter of of the lives you've touched is really what it comes down to. In other words, it's not so much what you've learned, it's what you've taught throughout your life, because that's the only part that lives on. What you learned dies with you, but what you've taught, what you've passed on, is your legacy.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, well, by the word legacy. Mm-hmm. Just something
that... Yeah, you don't want to have to be James Dean and have a poster up of you 40 years later.
Right. You want to have just a lasting mark on people.
Right.
And hopefully creatively. I mean, that's the way I think, at least. I don't care about financial
But why
shit.
don't you try to create then? Why do you just scream at Earl?
What?
Do you honestly think you yelling at Earl is creation?
No. I mean, we get into some arguments from time to time.
And that's it?
No, I want to create more.
You guys should just do it and get over it. Get over with it.
Do what?
There's
Sex?
a lot of there's just that tension between you guys. That's just building up.
Which I can focus better because Frenchie's off. I wouldn't have been able to explain myself. 3 days I've had problems with that.
No attraction there. He's not circumcised and is not my type, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you like a big, thick white cock. Bobo, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you buddies.
Yeah.
Ron, the stuff you're talking about with safe guys versus like weird or creative or dangerous guys is like the exact reason that I'm getting divorced now. My wife's like 4 years older than me. She turned 50 a couple years ago, and she started talking about all this like really safe stuff that's actually kind of weird and scary to me. She was talking about saving for retirement and just really boring life stuff, and at that same time she became like incredibly intolerant of me doing stuff like rocking back and forth on a stepladder playing guitar and calling her at work and asking her to bring 10 of the biggest syringes she can find back from work. Hello?
So you're a dangerous guy to kind of outlast at your time. She expected you to burn out, but now it's just that one boring ember that's still burning.
Yeah, I think I'm hanging on too long.
Well, don't talk that way. Maybe you're just getting your second wind.
Well,
don't make me tell you the Colonel Sanders story.
Gosh, I can barely hear.
You're getting to that age. All right,
yeah,
Bobo. Well, you're going to do great.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Jesus.
Here's James. James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys talked about the nutcase Paco that has started out his little cult, having all of his followers tattooed the 666 on his arm. And
he's Jesus.
Do what?
He's Jesus.
Yeah, he says his name is Jesus.
Yeah. No, he's not just saying his name is Jesus. He's saying, I am the return of Jesus. So what's your point, James?
Well, I was just wondering if you guys had brought it up or you discussed it.
I don't want to be one of the people yelling, "Oh, Jesus is an idiot." We have no time for Jesus. They didn't believe Jesus the first time that he was Jesus.
Yeah, I'd say.
But
so I guess what we're talking about is Jesus having everybody tattooed the mark of the beast on their arm.
Who's to say, my friend?
You see, yeah. Thank you very much.
Peace out. He thought we were all going to get all crazy with him and them damn people. Hey, if I just would do that for one day, they'd love me. Them damn people know what they're doing. Don, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. Miss Uncle Todd. I'm always been kind of the safe guy, and I think I'd give anything to be batshit fucking insane, but be able to write a great song or write a great book. I just don't have that in me. I'd be crazy any day for that.
It's kind of interesting because when it really comes down to it, do you think it's better to write a great song or to be able to appreciate a great song? Because a lot of times the guy who writes the great book doesn't even get it. How many times great actors will go, "I've never watched myself." Woody Allen will never watch his films again. So, in so many ways, he's probably not even conscious. He's not getting the full enjoyment out of being Woody Allen as you are, knowing there's a Woody Allen in the world.
But you are getting satisfaction that others are enjoying your work.
It's not always satisfaction.
You don't think so?
Jim Morrison didn't feel satisfaction about it. Most of the time, you're like, those fucking idiots. There's the thing with people loving Warren Zevon, and he was just like, I'm just a wind-up monkey to them. They don't give a shit. They just want to hear their little songs, and that's it. It's not like you totally get that.
But at some point, you have to enjoy creating. I mean, at some point, it has to be enjoyable for you, otherwise you wouldn't do it.
Not necessarily.
You don't think
so? It can be very,
so?
very painful. And something that you just have to get out.
But I mean,
you're trying to release it.
But even that, I mean, even if it's a cathartic moment like that,
yeah, but there is that to childbirth as well, and it's a very painful thing. I mean, obviously, everyone's glad that the pain is done, but I think the real artist you're not going to see on Cribs or the front of magazines or on Entertainment Tonight. The real artists, they're just fucking dealing with it, man. Dealing with trying to get to that fucking spot that you just can't get to.
So, do you think that an artist has to be, like, somewhat tortured?
No, not necessarily. But I think a lot of the great ones are. And I think a lot of people get confused where they think alcohol and drugs is the spark for art. But I think that thing, that when you are filled with creativity, a lot of people, you're trying to numb it and think like a regular person for a little while. So you drink or do drugs just to try to take it down a little bit. Hey, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you, man?
Hey, buddy, are you?
Yeah, what can we do for you, pal? I'm sorry, your phone is just way too bad. Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man, I kind of agree with you. I think that when people are famous for doing something very creative, they don't even realize what gift they have. It's almost like somebody else is working through them. They just think that what they have is something normal. And then the people that love them, they see a lot more in that person than the person that actually did the creative work does.
I will agree with you, but it's funny that you said to someone working through them, because I kind of collect those stories. Anything that I have about spirituality where I'm ready to think it's just science and not the spirit alone. But check out people who have written great songs, books, painting, how quickly it happens. It's not the real stuff that they battle over, but suddenly in 5 minutes you've written like a Rolling Stone.
Wow.
And it's almost like it comes in, and most of the time, I'm Neil Young, and I've gone through this with tons and tons of people to look it up, and they'll just say it's just zipped in. It was just their day to pick this thing up. We got Earl back on the phone. Talk about creative. Here he is, Black Earl. Hello, Earl.
Hello, guys. How are you?
We're great, Earl. First time on the radio?
No, I'm sorry. It's just a little bit of commotion here.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw Fez. He's waiting for his second EKG. He's feeling okay, still experiencing some chest pains, but it's pretty much where we are right now. They ran one EKG. They're going to run a second one, and it's pretty much where we are right now.
Is he going to make it to the free show or no?
If I were a betting man, I would probably say no. I mean, because he's been waiting a while for the second EKG.
Why don't we bet?
I'd like to bet.
How much?
$50 that he will be there.
Earl, you going in? You want this action?
$50.
I'm down for 50.
All right, I'm in it for 1,000.
Don't. That's a little
I'm on
rich.
your side.
Oh, you're on my side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
$1,000, Earl. That I can get him there by 6.
$1,000 that you can get him there by 6.
Yeah.
I will spot you.
I'll make a phone call right now and I'll have him pull those wires off his chest. You don't want this bet with me. All right, Earl. We'll talk to you later.
Earl, you should take a trip to the psych ward before you come here.
Oh yeah, the guy ran a bagel up his ass is telling me to go to
Or the hearing ward, because you're still Mr. Delay.
Hey, Mike the teacher.
Hey, Ron, I just want to, first, I hope Fez is better. Sorry if I'm derailing this, but I think it's a real important thing you're talking about here. I think the power of many arts, and music specifically for right now, that some artists actually can't deal with this musical power that is given to them. I'm talking about the very rare people like the Mozarts and the Charlie Parkers and the Jimi Hendrixes. I think the conduit to them was so open and so strong to music that it's a double-edged sword. They had such an ability to create, but also that power is another way, in some way, led to a destructive path. They either couldn't handle the music or their instrument or the lifestyle or the adulation.
But
and
maybe,
it ends up killing them.
yeah, but maybe it's when you're a genius about anything. I mean, you know a lot of math and physicists, math geniuses, they can't seem to make it in the normal world either, you know?
Einstein was an absolute horrific teacher. He couldn't tell anybody what he was talking about.
Yeah. You know who's the same way with her music? Gina Gershon.
Yeah, I feel, you see, I didn't want to S on that.
I already read your post.
Yeah,
I saw you write down my
I
friend.
knew you were going to nail me. I didn't go right ahead, but see, after hearing Zevon, after hearing Carmelita, don't you got to agree with me a little
but
bit?
who can be compared with Zevon?
No
who can
one.
be
True.
compared with Dylan? But I think it's cool that people are just creating whatever it happens to
You know,
be.
I'll give that to her, and I said she was dropping too many names and stuff like that. Hey, it's great that she's working with Sorman, Guns N' Roses, and stuff like that.
But I'm going
I
to tell you
love her.
something.
Bound
If you were
rules.
sitting next to her, you would see why she attracts those guys like flies.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got that aura that just
Yeah, she
radiates goddess.
All right, brother, we got to
All
go.
right, man.
There's a song.
Satellites gone way up to Mars.
Brad, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie, I just was going to bring up, this thing's been going on for all time. You look back in time, you got like Arthur Rimbaud, the poet, Leonardo DiCaprio played him in a movie.
Right, he
once,
basically acted like Warren Zevon. Oscar Wilde. You can go on and on with those stories.
For a time when he was drinking and using morphine and heroin and all that shit, and then he had enough of the scene and everything else, and ditched it, never wrote another poem, went to Africa and became a safari leader.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Africa, be a safari leader, at least the Bronx Zoo, and just be a tour guide.
But there are some geniuses who don't have to be tortured. Look at Paul McCartney. He's lived just a wonderful life.
Perfect.
Oh.
Thank you. The real genius is gone. Paul McCartney hangs on and still bothers one-legged women to this day.
I disagree.
Really? You don't think she has one leg?
No.
Because I'm willing to put up another 1,000. Should we even do the free show?
I want to win some money.
Huh?
I want to win some money, so
He's not going to show.
I think we should do it. Oh, if he doesn't show, then
yeah. I will do the free show, I guess, and try to get people updated. It's weird that he's having these pains, but I'm glad he's getting them checked out.
Yeah.
He fucking totally had me crazy that he has chest pains. I wouldn't go do it. I've been weirded out this whole show. I have no idea what I said to Chris Zevon.
It was good.
Well, yeah. I think it was probably nutty talk.
You brought up his porn collection.
Oh, God.
Which was to see, the wife have to hear about
What did she say? This guy used to bring fucking broads home to bang in front of her.
That's true.
You called him a bastard, too. I don't know if you remember
He
that.
was a fucking bastard. Any fucking cool guy's a bastard. I love the guy. All right, that's it for us. All right, officially, I don't have a friend in the world. Something happens to Fez, I'm down to 0. And God knows I don't have HTG. I gotta hear her write, "Oh, I love everyone." I never see her write that about me. Never once. You know why? She knows I'm the genius behind Rockahula Luau. Tomorrow, I will have a Rockahula Luau song ready to go. Hurry up, sleeves. Oh, and one more thing, and this is important. I just got this handed to me about Fez. Fez is going to have a...
that's the end of my show. Donk.
The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.